Oh, I'm not on camera. Oops, sorry. I forgot to turn it back on. Okay. All right, good enough. Oh, wait, sorry. I'll turn that up. Now I can turn this up. Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you? Okay, so I didn't do the title yet, but I did fill in the description. So there's that. So let's see here. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Reagan. Hey, Tracy. Hey, little mousy girl. Hey, Megan. Hi, Lily. Hey, Claire. Hey, April. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Autistic Chill. Hi, Steffi. Hey, Heather. Sean, what's up? Hey, Steve. Oh, yes, right. I forgot to tell you and Tina you might want to join me. But yeah, so I'm gonna drop the link for the two of you, but a little bit towards the end. So I'm gonna get through all this shit first. Oh, anytime, Claire. You don't have to thank me. Hey, Estella. Hey, Deb. Did I skip anyone over here? Hey, Live Life Whimsically. Hey, Carol T. -X. I don't know if I don't remember if I said Sean. If not, hi, Sean. Okay, so I'm going to just get to it, I suppose. I gotta pull up just a couple links here. Sure. And I actually have them all here in order. Yay. I pull it all up. All right, so there we go. I'm sure I didn't put the rest of that in there. I'll do that after. Okay, so I want to talk about what I've been learning about the past couple months. Now, this started off as just me just wanting to learn more about the whole QAnon movement, like how it happened, basically just how it happened, really. And throughout my travels, whatever, on the internet, my virtual travels, I came across this one person who really, I mean, I can't recommend this enough. Okay. Let me share the screen. If you have any questions, you want to learn anything about the whole QAnon thing, the whole like conception of it, the whole idea of it, the whole mechanics of it, how it was able to happen and why you should care about it, I highly, highly recommend you reading this article on Medium. I mean, like I just want to sing this author's praises. Like, wow, it was a read I didn't want to end. I'll be honest. And he's got like several articles and everything regarding this, but this is like his, I guess, like this article here is where like everything came together. Okay. And it's called The Disinformation Factory. And the author's name is Hamilton Hume. And it says right here, 87-minute read. So like if you listen to this, it's going to take you an hour and a half to hear it all. This is how complete it is. And it comes with all the receipts, everything. So I'm putting this up here because I'm going to be pulling some shit from it as we go. I'm kind of using this as like my outline of things, I guess you could say. So now my reason though for why I was interested in this, like it's always kind of piqued my curiosity from the vaccine movement, like the whole anti-vax movement, how that came to be and the things that they kind of came to believe in. And Hamilton puts it perfectly when he says, the conspiracy narrative virus, that's what he calls it. It enters the mind of the host through the eyes and ears, controlling their thoughts and hence their actions. And like all effective viruses, that included compelling the host to spread it. And that's so right. And like to give you an idea of how effective and how far of a reach and how strong of a hold a conspiracy can have. I mean, you look at Bill Gates, he's like what, the richest man in the world. His reputation is probably tarnished, like shot to shit for like ever with a good amount of people in the world, especially the United States. And it's because like he was given a talk. I can't remember where it was, but it was in 2010. And at the talk, Bill said, the world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really good job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. Now, the anti-vax community hear that and they think, oh my God, he's going to commit mass murder and he's going to kill like billions of people and whatever. And he funds vaccines, so therefore he must be doing it through vaccines. That's what happened. But that's not what he's talking about. Basically, he's explaining that with these things that he mentioned, like the vaccines, the good health care, the reproductive health services, you end up lowering child mortality, or you end up lowering the amount of kids who die. So parents don't feel compelled to have more and more kids in hopes that more and more make it to adulthood. By helping ensure that the ones that they do have survive, they kind of don't have anymore. So they don't have the need, they don't feel the need to. So this does in fact keep population down, because without it, then population will soar, because after those kids perish at whatever age, then the parents will have more kids, so it's putting more of a strain on resources and on the earth and whatever. So by ensuring that the first kids or whatever have a good shot of making it to adulthood, a lot of people are far less likely to have any more kids following them, because they don't need to. So and that's all it really took, was just someone hearing that and running with this narrative, and and then Andrew Wakefield picked up the agenda, and the rest is history, whatever. So and the reason why, see, conspiracy theories or whatever have existed for a long fucking time. And don't worry. This isn't going to be just about Q or conspiracy theories. I just want to get through this, and then I'm going to get to what I think everyone wants to hear about. And that's the shit I discovered about some people in the community here. But I want to get through this first. So like in the past, like we've had conspiracies come up, like since the Illuminati, back in the days of the Catholic Church and Da Vinci or whatever, but like now, back then, or not necessarily back then, but just all throughout time, it's spreading things by word of mouth or even by print. It took a hell of a lot longer than spreading things by the internet. Now you just press a button and it's spread, but also that's not the only huge, I don't know, achievement or whatever difference. There's also the spread of data, big data or whatever. There's these data companies that mine everyone's data, like your habits, your likes, your geography, like your way of life or whatever, everything, and they sell that data. So it isn't just like market, or it isn't just advertising companies that's behind the data now. Now there's such a thing as called black PR companies, and these are companies that they're public relations, but they're not necessarily trying to sell you as who you are genuinely to the world. They're trying to manufacture who you are and manipulate people into seeing you one way when you are in fact not that way. They don't look to keep your good reputation. They look to repair your reputation, more or less. So these are the companies now who are buying like this big data and who are using it and unleashing it through things, like tactics like mimetic warfare, or just really just gang stalking, shit like that even. So, and like this all kind of formulated for the most part in 4chan, because like there's not as many regulations or guidelines on 4chan. Like it's anonymity is like insisted on almost, and they don't look to censor anyone for any reason. So yeah, and so without that censorship, people were just somehow, I'm not quite sure how it came, but just similar souls came together and started becoming creative and started forming like this virtual form of LARPing, live action role playing, only, like how most of us know it or whatever is from stupid movies, people dressing up as like knights or whatever, going on pretend sword fight. No, that's not it. This is just going online and being whoever you want to be and claiming whatever the fuck you want to claim and selling it and insisting on it and pushing it. And it's just, that's where the whole concept of Q kind of snowballed from, was just the LARPing community on 4chan for the most part. So sorry about that. What's weird though is like with the whole QAnon movement, Someone had said to me when I was talking to them about this at work, they said, well, who's going to do all that work, put in all that work for something if they're not getting paid? I mean, you have to pay people, but you don't really. I mean, we all have that one member in our family who's bought into one conspiracy theory or another, who, whether it's the moon landing or Sandy Hook or 9/11 or the JFK or vaccines, anything really. We all have that one family member, and they will push their thinking, their theories all over the internet free of charge, but they're not even thinking about money. It's the concept of being a part of a minority group where you feel like you have the inside information, where you know shit that no one else does, and everyone there is so welcoming. It is a very welcoming community. I mean, there are a lot of people who long for that sort of identity, community. Just they'll do anything for it, really. So it's not at all hard to find people who will push this shit for free. It really isn't. Especially if you sell it as if it's like a righteous thought or something. I mean, like the people who are doing it, I mean, there are some people making money. Yeah, like Alex Jones, for example. He's made like $1 billion or whatever. And this is even spread to other celebrities or other people. Like Russell Brand is now pushing a lot of this shit. So there are some people making money, but well, maybe Alex Jones, but I don't think Russell Brand's even doing it to make money. I think he's doing it because he's genuinely invested in it, like mentally and emotionally invested in it, whatever. So yeah, it's actually a really good example of someone who will do it for money and someone who's not doing it for money, really. I don't know. So, and like I said, there's an entire new commercial industry of these black PR companies. And here's where the tie-in starts to come a little bit. When you look at Q, and you look at the mechanics of it, the people behind it, the delivery of it, it started off as like these fun puzzles or whatever, and then that kind of was incorporated into the whole conspiratory thinking. And then you had all these YouTube channels that were enlisted to be bakers, where they would take these breadcrumbs, they're called, that you would drop, and then they would bake them and put out the narrative, basically. And here's where I want to share the Daily Beast. Where is the Daily Beast? Why did that not open? It's annoying. All right. Oh, that's why, because I put the same link in the same spots. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Good thing I have that open, though, over here. So the Daily Beast. Here we go. Oh, no, I put it in wrong here, too. Shit. Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. There we go. Now I got it. I'll fix that in the description later. Oh, I can just open it right up there, too, if it ever copies. It was going so good, wasn't it? The stream was really just moving along progressively. Like, there weren't any hiccups. There wasn't any of my stupid bullshit. And now there's this. There had to be something, right? There fucking had to be. God, this is annoying. Okay, copy. It's like every time I click the mouse, I have to get the pinwheel. I just restarted my computer too. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, here we go. Now I got it. Okay, so here's the Daily Beast article. It's coming up. So what I learned from this article here in the DailyBeast, which I thought was very interesting, because here's where some of the tie-in comes in. This is an article about the right-wing activists discussing the wiretapping of Seth Rich's family. You remember that whole Seth Rich conspiracy from the DNC when he was murdered? Yeah, that was a bunch of bullshit. So here it says, a strange set of characters from some of the highest and lowest positions in the American right gathered one morning in September 2017 at an affluent neighborhood outside of Dallas. One of their topics was responding to online critics of wealthy Texas businessman Ed Butowski, who had recently been outed as the driving force behind a retracted Fox News story about murdered Democratic National Committee staffer Seth Rich. Okay, so, and it goes on to explain the people who were there at this meeting. And I don't really care about the beginning people, but right here, it says the group also included Thomas Schoenberger and Manuel DeFango Chavez. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Two notorious internet provocateurs who had recently launched a self-proclaimed elite company that promised to use bots and so targeted chaos to defend its clients online. The name of their company, mind you, is Shadowbox. Shadowbox. It's interesting. So let me scroll down here. I don't really care too much about the meeting. I'll fix the links in the description. So if anyone wants to go back and read this actual, the whole article and shit, I'll make it easy for you. But it's not there right now because apparently I fucked up. Okay. How's that? You know, I might have corrected the other one, that part from the other one. But I'll go ahead and read what's here. So, do they have a description of Shadowbox in this one? Yes. So here's where part of their business pamphlet or whatever says about Shadowbox. This is what Shadowbox says about itself. Where your enemies have lied to paint you as the bad guy, we sow the seeds of doubt and present the counter narrative that they are, in fact, the villains. We do this through sophisticated use of internet technology, meme creation, PR, and cyber guerrilla tactics. So there's that. So this is a company that was started by Schoenberger, which I guess he's like one of the main people behind Q, and him and like DeFango was like maybe a close second or whatever, which I don't really care about that so much. Nor do I really care about Schoenberger so much, but it's the whole DeFango thing that I'm going on not because of DeFango, but because he ties in to what I kind of suspect, maybe you could say. So yeah. All right. What the whole thing says about Shadowbox actually says an elite online I want to pull up a link for that so you guys can read it too with me. I like to do that. Come on. So I want stream text 2. There we go. I'm probably not going to be able to find it. It's going to be in there forever. Oh. Here we go. All right. I found it. So this is again on Hamilton Hume's article on Medium. Here he says their promotional material describes themselves as, and this is Shadowbox again, an elite online reputation management firm. We address smear assaults head on by custom creating shadow bot campaigns as a counter strategy. Use targeted chaos to confuse your opponents. Your army use cyber guerrilla tactics. Where your enemies have lied to paint you as the bad guy, we sow the seeds of doubt and present the counter narrative that they are, in fact, the villains. And you have been unjustly accused. We do this through sophisticated use of internet technology, meme creation, PR, and cyber guerrilla tactics that stop the bleeding and begin to sway public opinion and the media in your favor. That's their whole like sales pitch or whatever. So yeah. there's that. Now, I'll go back here. Okay. So, and that's, I mean, this kind of shit, this is where like Pizzagate was formed from, a lot of this. And mind you, this digital influence, it seems to be being used to apply to things like critical race theory, mask mandates, malnourished psychology. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Transgenderism and pride. Like, that's what's going on here from like the whole, I don't know, political extreme right, not Republicans, just extreme right. So, okay, there's that. Now I'm going to tie this in more. So, where am I now? There is a lawsuit that happened where you're going to see some names you recognize. Oh yeah, and I'm not looking at chat moments. So, mods, if you guys need anything, just message me or whatever. If I'm missing anything. So far, so good. Okay, so here, let me just do this. Now, Steve and I went over this on a stream over on Nikki's channel, like a couple months ago, I think. Here, Unirock is mentioned in here. Schoenberger also claims manual. So here it says, an open secret was in legal battle with his director after she found Gabe was covering up. Okay. Gabe paid Unirock to present news and also DeFango and Monkey Savant. Gabe is now after Thomas, it's supposed to be Schoenberger, because Gabe hired the hitman who, it's alleged that, I don't know anything about that. But my point is that I'm pointing out how Unirock, this is where he came up through the internet from. He came up through the internet with these guys. Okay. He is what I've heard him refer to. Now, I've been talking with some people who have been involved with the whole QAnon thing, is specifically during the time, or more or less specifically involved with Cicada 3301, which is when the whole QAnon phenomenon started. And one of the persons that I've been talking to has said to me that Unirock has been what's referred to as like controlled opposition, like to help sell the narrative, but as from like the opposing voice kind of viewpoint. He's also been used as a baker of sorts. And really just now more than ever, he's really selling all of these talking points that this movement has really been supporting and bringing about. And I've said this before about Uni, like, I kind of wish I'd known Uni like before he changed, because before he seemed to be like this really cool guy who was really into facts and evidence and investigations and just getting to the truth regardless of what that was. And he also seemed to be someone who cared about a lot of things. But now I don't see that in him. But in his earlier videos, I do see that in him. So it's, you know, it's kind of sad in my opinion. That's all. So down here it says again, they donated $5,000 to DeFango through MAGA Coalition and ignored Unirock, who Gabe dumped. So I'm just pointing out like how he's mentioned in things. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't understand all of this, and I don't really want to, be honest. So then after that, I have this one. This is interesting. Also, too, what I was told about how QAnon worked, or how the Q pipeline worked, I should say. It worked through YouTube mostly. And there was like a group who pretty much treated YouTube like a hierarchy. Basically, if channels were going to play ball with them, then they were promoted and they were gifted with subs somehow, or lead bot, but I don't know if that was always the case. But they were gifted with subs and views, and their channels grew. But the ones who pushed back, well, they were just dragged right through the fucking mud. And which I'm going to get to that towards the end of these links here. So this right here is a baker anonymous baker leaked email, and it's the full text or whatever. But starts off right here at the beginning. Hi, I'm writing. Wait, who is this sent to? Email sent to Lift the Veil 411. So, an archive of the post can be seen here. Oh, okay, I didn't even see that. So, hi, I'm writing you to set the record straight. I've already written to Unirock to clarify things, but he never responded, and I no longer have access to the burner email that I set up to email him. So, moving on. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Again, I will have the links in the description should anyone want to read them all. But I'm going to just scroll through to the next Unirock mention. I recently seen some updates the Unirock provided and your recent video with the Cicada group. I grouped up with the CBTS guys for a little bit after the initial Q drops. But looking back at things now and taking into account what I know, it's all making a lot more sense now. And he goes on to talk more about, looks like, Q drops and Cicada and the basically like the flow of information. So then I have this one here from the Federalist. So in this one, he's mentioned several times. So here's a screenshot of something from Farmer Funk. Okay. It says, where there's an audience for conspiracy theories, there's money to be made. As one Q skeptic, but that's where the controlled opposition comes in. A YouTuber who goes by the name Unirock recounted, he was once invited to a Discord server with some of the core bakers or leading Q researchers. Unirock says, I was shocked to hear them talking about the best ways to monetize, brand, and make money off the Q movement. I sat and listened for a minute. They told me they liked the way I branded my art into my channel and asked me some questions. I left. I clicked out. Don't know about that. I don't think I believe that. That's just me. Yeah, I lost my spot now.
Media. More sugar and caffeine.
Okay, I left. I clicked out. Okay, so next. Oh my God, I'm streaming. What do you want? Yeah? What?
Look at it.
What is it?
Notice how there's French on it?
Okay. What?
It's Canadian Coke. It's a slightly different formula.
Okay, I can't read the text. It's too small. And I'm reading.
Here you go.
Thank you. Okay, so and next it says Patriots, Soapbox, and monetizing QAnon. Perhaps the biggest money makers in the Q realm are Coleman Rogers, Pamphlet Anna, and his wife Christina Urso, who goes by the name Radix. I haven't tried to pronounce that out loud yet. Who started and run Patriots Soapbox, PSB, a 24/7 YouTube live stream of Q analysis and registered LLC. Unirock, who has been investigating QAnon for several months, believes that Pamphlet Annan is responsible for turning QAnon into a cash cow. Although the corroborating video has been deleted by Patriots Soapbox, Unirock told me that during the first 2 months of the channel, viewers were asked to leave the live stream on at all hours of the day, so they would always have a high view count. The PSB team added $20,000 to $40,000 in equipment to upgrade their setup over the first couple of months by Unirock's estimates. PSB also has a merchandise store. The channel has more than 55,000 subscribers and accepts donations via PayPal and a variety of cryptocurrencies. Thank you. I will definitely try it after the live stream. Thank you.
You don't need to.
I know I probably don't need to. So, and then lastly on here, we have QAnon's passwords were once hacked and published along with a technical discussion from the hacker outlining the evidence that Q doesn't secure his content the way a, quote, high-level intel officer would. Unirock reminded me of a still more suspicious behavior. Q only posts on someone else's 8chan board where Q drops could be potentially deleted by moderators or Q's passcode disabled. A real government agent wouldn't put this supposedly important information at risk like that. So there's that. Okay, and then this one. This is from the Daily Dot. Who was Q? 4 years of tips sent to our inboxes. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, and it says, oh, wait a minute, that's right. So, Number 7, Unirock TV. In May 2018, I spent 2 weeks in China visiting my sister and never bothered to read any emails I got while I was there. While looking up stuff for the story, I came across this email. Subject line, I know who QAnon is. Proven with evidence. I'm guessing that that's what the message, the email said is right here. I know who QAnon is for a fact with evidence and needs reported. My second to last video on Unirock states who it is. My Twitter has all the evidence at Unirock TV. Please consider it. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. I did a 5-month-long investigation into this, and in the last 3 weeks proved it all. So then this person says, I went to Unirock TV's Twitter page. It links to a YouTube video. Unfortunately, the one link that reveals all has been taken down by the site. Oh, well. Uh-huh. That was number 1. Okay. Well, oh, there's 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's it. And then this is the last one, right? I think. No, it's not. All right. I have 2 more. Okay. So this one here is one that really caught my attention. Just the way they kind of broke some other shit down. This is from the site, the Phoenix Enigma, and it's titled The Usual Suspects, LARPing, Gang Stalking, and Social Media Chaos Theory. Now, for this, right here, I want to highlight all this right here. The goals of disinformation are multiple. 1, attempt to destroy one's credibility and slander. 2, generate chaos and ergo waste valuable time, energy, and resources. 3, to sow falsehood and confusion into a paradigm in an attempt to hide the truth that is already there. And 4, cause such a state of circus that anyone looking at the scenario will immediately trivialize it. Okay. So, and I'm going to read a little bit more here. The gang stalkers and disinformation agents. What did I have taken out? There are those right down to a dozen others. Okay. Where is it? Okay. So, right here. That's where I'm starting. Okay. There are those who base their YouTube channels and social media income around such There are those who base their YouTube channels and social media income around such drama in an attempt to generate ad revenue from it. They pull in other people and channels in an attempt to create more drama and opportunity, and sometimes these battles escalated to legal significance. Several lawsuits sprung up from the LARPing, which took place in the wake of the death of Isaac. Gabe Hoffman versus Thomas Schoenberger. Now, that first thing I read, that court document, that's the lawsuit that's from. Gabe Hoffman versus Julio Cesario. Jack has. I can't see that. Gabe Hoffman. Okay, they're just listing lawsuits now at that point. I don't care. Then there are the ancillary lawsuits, restraining orders that these individuals are involved in. Thomas Schoenberger versus Manny Chavez. Beth, okay, etc. More. And on and on. Although unrelated to Isaac directly, yet related to Manny, or DeFango, I believe, and Thomas. If you pull the strings for 5 minutes, you will find the names Jason Goodman and a few others, and a dozen others. Okay. And a dozen others. I believe, and this part, I believe the guy who wrote this kind of went undercover online with this, okay? I believe many of these people are simply mentally ill, while others are first and second tier government intelligence agents. That's kind of scary. Okay, now I'm going to go down to gang stalking. And I read, okay. Here's where LARPers and LARP busting turns dark. And here's where the potential was for the weaponization of the online social media world. Gang stalking can be one of a number of things to put in the context of the used in. The classic definition involves a group of conspirators who secretly attempt to make people crazy through continued, seemingly random harassment. Tactics include surveillance, sabotage, burglary, vandalism, mind games, crazy manufactured scenarios, etc. Nonstop environment of insanity meant to break someone's mind without physically hurting them. Gang stalking is organized harassment at its best. It is the targeting of an individual for revenge, jealousy, sport, or to keep them quiet, etc. It is organized, widespread, and growing. Some describe this form of harassment as a psychological attack that can completely destroy a person's life while leaving little or no evidence to incriminate the perpetrators. The people getting targeted seem to be single women, minorities, outspoken individuals, whistleblowers, dissidents, people who have gone against large corporations, etc. Okay, and down here at the end, he wraps this up. And this I thought was idiot. Or this I thought was just amazing. Idiot. Okay, right here. It is worth noting at this time, however, that there's evidence to suggest. No, wait, this isn't it. Oh, no, right here. I'd like to state for the record that my experience with this group of people has been the single greatest waste of time, energy, and resources I have encountered during this investigation. The sheer level of ego, narcissism, suspicion, paranoia, ugliness, and hatred, personal agendas, juvenile behavior, confusion, and mental illness involved with this group is truly something to behold. And I, at times, found myself being sucked into it. If these LARP busters are affiliated with intelligence agencies, I must admit they are somewhat effective in their operations. That I thought was just really quite eye-opening. Like, wow. All right. All right. And then I had this one here. It's from a website, SteemIt.com. And it is the new NQ PSYOP, okay, by Jack and Microchip that Unirock and YouTubers fell for. Let me crack it up for you. Okay. So I think this is, I don't know. Maybe it's a transcript or something for stream. I don't know. So anyways, Jack promises to release Discord chats on fake Q September 20th. Does not keep his word. Jack and team need more time to fake the Microchip Discord posts. Jack, possibly an FBI plant, is an ex-Intel agent. Microchip, okay, yeah. Thomas, okay. To hide the fact that it is an Intel operation with Thomas S. Quantum, and others using it as a counter-intel operation called Crossfire Hurricane, a coup d'etat to impeach Trump. So they create a fake narrative based upon the work of Unirock, 0 Hour, and Q Source X, an attempt to create a credible cover story for money and fame. And the OAN, what's that? Is that something American Now or something, American News? I forget. It's something like that. In an OAN hit piece, Jack claims Dreamcatcher reached out to him prior to Q arriving in late October. So what took so long for his supposed expose to come out? What I find funny is detractors like Microchip, Defango, Unirock, and others make money off debunking Q, yet there's no word on that whatsoever. However, okay, looks like a question or whatever. I don't know. Then, however, given your background, I'm certain you're not that stupid. I believe you know what I said is possible and have worked with Microchip and maybe Unirock and possibly others to reverse engineer Q with knowledge known post post hoc and crafted an origin story convincing enough that normal people will buy it. Convincing enough that normal people will buy it. Okay. Microchip claims he was on Air Force One to take the photos. This is BS. How could Unirock and Rocket Squad have missed all this evidence that Microchip is fake? How did they match up the picture to earlier pictures taken on the same airline route? Now, what I take that is Unirock matched up a picture to a picture taken from Air Force One en route somewhere. It is an air route all planes take. So the pictures are from another commercial plane flying over that route. The clowns knew in advance that AFI would fly that route again. So Air Force One would fly that route again. So they timed the release of the pictures to match the flight path. Sounds like narrative. Just saying. The 3 new versions of Q that just popped up explained what DeFango, Unirock, and others need still see. Do it. Okay. And then, oh, okay, that's it. I think. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's it for there too. Now, okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, that's it. So I'm done with this whole Unirock, or not Unirock portion, but the whole QAnon portion of this. And I'm going to move on momentarily. Here, let me get back here. Why is my mouse moving so slow? Okay. Let me get into chat here. I haven't been ignoring you all while I was reading that because that's what I do. So, oh, there we go. Now caught up. All right, let me see here. Where am I tagged? Oh, One American News. Thank you. I knew it was something. I knew it was something simple, but I just couldn't remember. Yes, I concur. The writer nailed it. Yes. Now, oh, you're talking about Dash X. You're talking about Isaac. Yeah, I'm not going into much about that, just out of respect. I mean, here's what I've been told about that whole ordeal is that he was relentlessly harassed, and the manner, like the actions taken in their harassment, the forms of harassment that they basically used against him, is much of what we all see Steve deal with. And I don't care if you love Steve. I don't care if you hate Steve. I don't care if you think that he deserves every bit of harassment he's getting. That's not the point here. Ignore all that. Okay. Who cares? My point is you cannot deny that there are a group of people on Twitter mostly, but Twitter and YouTube and just internet all in all, but mostly Twitter, who cannot seem to post or tweet or exist online other than to try to hurt Steve. Okay, there is a good, very vocal group of people who do this. And you can sit here and say, well, they're righteous in their ways. I'm not, that's not even the point. I'm not going to argue that. Okay. For argument's sake, we'll say you're right. So then you admit that there is this group of people who are doing this to Steve, whether it's warranted or not. You admit that this is happening. This is my whole point. Okay. And much of what I've heard is exactly what I have been witnessing. And like, and this is talking about one member of their community who was pushed so far to where he took his own life. I mean, I don't believe Steve is anywhere near that, or I think Steve's doing quite fine or quite okay for himself. You know, maybe he has his moments, but he's in control. But how long would that last? I mean, it almost seems like this group of people, they're wanting to see how far they can push him almost. They want him to get to that point. So I worry and I wonder, will they succeed? And I hope they don't, but just saying. Now, here's where I'm going to piss some people off. Like, I'm really going to piss some people off. And I tried to reach out to someone beforehand about this, and I'm looking at my shit here, and like, I'm not getting a reply or whatever right now. And I hope they don't get pissed off at me or whatever. But So back in, I think it was, no, when was it? Maybe June. It was a couple weeks after Nat was arrested, or within a couple weeks after. It was definitely after she was arrested, though. Nat emailed me, and I know that you were supposed to reach out and everything, but the email was just basically her saying she was sorry. She wasn't even putting the blame on it. She just said she's sorry. That's it. Whatever. So I kind of ignored it, but I thought I should probably send it in just in case. So, and then I forgot about it. But then I saw Katie's tweets from September there. She was tweeting about how she spoke to the detective and there's a new investigation. She's now listed as a victim and all that. So I thought, oh, okay. Yeah, I better, try and send that in or whatever. I don't know. So I got the email from Twitter for this detective and I emailed, but I got no response. I've sent 2 emails now and I've gotten no response. So I thought, that's kind of weird. Like, why aren't I getting a response? So I thought, well, maybe the email's address is wrong. It was a screenshot of like an actual email, it looked like. So I don't see how it could have been wrong, but I thought maybe I got it wrong. I don't know. So, but then I kind of just sat on things and thought about things. And people were on Twitter asking all kinds of questions about like confirmation of arrest. Like people just wanted to know that she was arrested. I think maybe they feel more comfortable. So I'm in a group chat and I saw a posting from someone. It reminded me of a friend I have over there in England. And I thought I remembered him living right around the Telford area. So I messaged him and I'm going to share some of that conversation with you guys now. I'm actually going to play a video for it. So, because I try to record things because I know how I get sometimes. Shit gets crazy. Okay. Okay, so this is just a quick little, like, 8-minute video, whatever I recorded earlier. I'm just going to let it play. Okay, let's see if this time I can get it to read through in order. It's a lot harder than it sounds. So the conversation starts with Jay saying, "What's the crack, Jack?" To which I reply, "I was hoping you could help me with some sleuthing. I need to verify that there is someone really named Natalie Kennett in West Mercia, UK, and that she was arrested earlier this year. I have exact date if that helps. Finding shit isn't easy in the UK like it is here. That shit is all public here." To which Jay says, "Was she arrested by the West Mercia police?" As in... As there is nowhere actually called West Mercia in the UK, not actually a place. Do you know where she comes from? To which I said, "Yeah, sure. 1 sec, let me show you something." And I'm just jumping ahead to this tweet because I just shared a few tweets with him, and then he shared a tweet with me because as I was sharing with him, he went and searched up her address and he came across one of Saltz's tweets. So, and I said, "And then there's that too, LOL." And it says he then says, "It seems so. That doesn't mean she's been charged with anything. If she had the information would be available in public domain." So, "Oh, but there's more." He goes, "Ha ha ha." So, that's right. I told him that, I see the tweet there that you shared, but I kind of want something more than just a tweet to verify this. I want actual confirmation. So, and he went and searched the sites that he knew to search. And then he came back with, "I don't think anyone called Natalie Kennett has been arrested. I don't think that person exists. I can't find any information for that person existing in the West Midlands," which West Mercia deals with. To which I say, "They're fucking gone. There were articles written about her arrest, but all from second-rate India media marketing sites. And their info was word for word Salsa's tweets. That's it. Right down to the typo where he called the West Mercia police the West America police. One site even called it the West America police. Allegedly, her aunt is some killer in the UK with the last name of Speed. The woman killed her kid or some shit." And then I said, oh, and I have her address too. So, and I shared with him her address. And he said, ha ha ha, I can guarantee you right now the West Mercia police have not arrested anyone called Natalie Kenna. As for the aunt, it's probably mistaken identity. Next time someone mentions her arrest, ask for proof. Even a local media story like from the Shropshire Star or Telford Journal. And it's not going to be in order, is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. And to which, and he then went on to say, I actually live in Telford. I said, you live near where she is said to live? He goes, literally half a mile away. It's a block of flats that's been renovated and sold to posh people. Holy fuck, what are the odds? I have a picture. Holy fuck, what are the odds? I have a picture of her. She's the redhead on the left. How do you know they haven't arrested her? Do they provide that info publicly when asked? And he said, I've lived in Telford on and off for 50 years. The arrest would be on their website and also in local news. So if she lives in Telford, it would definitely be in the Shropshire Star. And if there was a court case, her case details and court date would be on the Telford Magistrates Court site, to which he then shares links to. Which is, oh my God, I fucking love you. She's not in any of those places. The only place her alleged arrest has been reported are nonsense websites and YouTube channels to do with Katie Joy. I then shared a link to one of the websites that had originally written about her arrest, which still to this day, I'm baffled. I'm just dumbfounded that any website at all would find that worthy to write. I mean, like, who was she to anyone other than just like this small group of people on Twitter, basically? Like, why would some website be writing about it? And then like other multiple like second-rate bullshit sites be writing about it? I don't know. Anyway, so I shared a link to it. I said, that's the only place back then, and the only places now are bullshit gossip sites and channels, and even they quote the bullshit sites from India. The main site that was referenced back when she was allegedly arrested was a site called Pupa, whatever it's called. So then I asked, would there be a 999 record call of Natalie being rushed to the hospital following an alleged S attempt in January 2021? Salsa claimed to have called them back then because she said that she was going to harm herself. To which Jay replied, there would be a record of any 999 call made in the UK, but only a patient can apply for that. Okay. I want to interrupt here briefly just for a second, and I want to put this out there before anyone gets the wrong idea. I am not at all suggesting or thinking or wondering if Salsa had anything to do with anything. Absolutely not. For him to have done something like that, he would be perpetrating like a fraud on the court, and no attorney is going to do that for any case, really, especially one like this, and especially an attorney like Salsa. It's just not possible. Okay, I do not in any way, shape, or form think that he did anything wrong or that he was in the know of anything at all. I think that he was, if there was some sort of bullshit put on display or whatever played out, I think that he went through it much like the rest of us. So I just want to put that out there before anyone gets the wrong idea there. So then he says, it seems to me that someone is making the whole thing up to support a non-existent narrative and garner sympathy. That Saltz needs asking where exactly he's getting his information regarding the West Mercia police. So then I said, well, so I'm told that a Benjamin Hocking is the police investigator. There is someone there by that name, it seems, but only one and an account claims to have been emailing with him and has only shared one screenshot or has only shared a screenshot of part of an email. So I don't know. I don't want to use that email address. So I'll try and find his email from the website and reach out. And the reason why is because I just wanted to verify that I definitely had the actual email address. So rather than just take it from what it's being shared from someone I just don't really know online, I wanted to go to the website and get it from the source. I just felt better about that, which interestingly enough, I'm glad I did. So then Jay says, you're right. There is a Benjamin Hocking with the West Mercia police, but he's based in Birmingham. He then shared an article from the Guardian or something, I think it was. And he said, that was Shrewsbury. Again, they would not investigate anything in Telford, as Telford is a town of 250,000 people. Said, okay, so that anon account shows the email address as in the server name that they showed was at westmercia.police.uk. I just got confirmation from the website. The server is actually at westmercia.pnn.police.uk. He then says, I don't recognize that as anything. So, and then I shared the screenshot with him. And he goes, well, it seems legit. I mean, Malinsgate police station does exist. I've been there many times. Nice. Okay, so yeah, there's my conversation with Jay. Like, as was pointed out, I've known him from the vaccine community, and Katie Joy knows him too. I think both Katie Joy and her husband were kicked out of a couple of his pro-vax groups on Facebook. So she's quite familiar with him. So yeah, there's that. Okay, back to the stream. Okay, so there's that with Jay, and I didn't know what to make of that. So like I said, I reached out to the detective with the email that was being shared in that screenshot. And then I also reached out with the email that I got from the website, or through the website, I should say. And I've heard back nothing. No, nothing. So I went to social media to see if maybe there was a thread or something I could comment on, something, you know? And so I went on Twitter, and damn it. Go away. Fuck. Okay. So upon doing that on Facebook, and what I did was, like, I searched her name, and I searched her name on these websites. Oh, that's what I could do too. These are the websites that Jay was talking about. Let me do this first. So this right here is the website, and you go to the news search. So this is the link this is the exact link he sent to me. And so as you can see, Natalie Kennett's name was already put in there, and there's 5 results, and there's nothing from that time period, nothing to do with her. And you can even, I know, like, there was some confusion about whether or not her last name was Kennett or Speed. So even if you do Speed, here's 1 of 10 of 56, but they're all listed in order date wise. So she was arrested in what, like the June 1st or something. So you just scroll through here until like before June 1st. And there's nothing about her by her name. There's nothing about any arrest by anyone similar to her. There's no similar arrest even that to hers. Like this right here is from June 1st, speed enforcement. Like speed enforcement was news, but not someone who created all this havoc and CP and everything overseas and affected this huge civil lawsuit in the United States. That wasn't newsworthy, right? I mean, come on. Anyway, so then there's this website too. This the court magistrate one, I believe. So sign in. Yeah, I create an account because you get more search results or whatever when you create an account. I don't know why, but you do. Let's just search there, right? So no results. If I do Crown, Magistrate, I don't even know what all these things are, but I'll just click them anyways. So you want to do that. Okay, so submit. Okay, now we get 20 results found. But you see here the names, Natalie Carr, like none of the names are hers. I already went through and I did that list. None of the names are hers. And it's the same thing when you do the last name Speed. There's none of the names are hers. None of the arrests are similar, whatever. I realize maybe this thing just doesn't go back quite as far or something, but I'm not sure. But there's nothing. There's nothing. So and I even searched online, and the only thing I find online are, again, these second-rate, like, bullshit sites talking about it. And they're talking about it is either quoting tweets verbatim, like right down to the typo, or it's so broken up that you just know that the person who wrote it has English as a second language. And I mean, no offense by that, just, you know that. I mean, it doesn't come across as professional, is what I'm saying. So, in fact, one of them that I looked at back when shortly after her arrest happened, one of them had a headline about how was Dora the Explorer killed or some shit like that. Like, I mean, it was so ridiculous. And none of them have contact info that actually leads to anyone you can contact. Like, someone will have like a Gmail address, which comes back as, like, you know, the mail demon thing comes back. Or they'll have an email submission page on the website, in which case you fill it all out, you write your message, and you hit submit. But then it says that we cannot complete your whatever. We cannot complete that task or whatever. So it goes nowhere. There's like no way to contact anyone from behind these sites even. It's weird. Very weird. So there's that. And then, so like I said, I searched Twitter. I'm sorry. I searched Twitter for any thread, any way I could just talk to West Mercia. And that's when I noticed something. Like, actually, there's more than that in here. This is just a whole collection of tweets, like from before and just before and right around her arrest. I'm going to just show them all to you. And again, just because I'm showing some assaults as tweets, it's to show something. It's not to insinuate anything, because there's other people in these tweets too, and I'm not insinuating shit about them either. So I just want to make that known. So starts here. This is Unirock's tweet from May 15th. Nat is not operating on her own. There are people directing her BS and steering her where they want to unleash her. I used to think it was possible it wasn't on purpose. Now I'm convinced that it is 100% on purpose and done by a group behind her. This is where, like, I feel like the narrative started. Maybe not started at first about us, but kicked in. So here we have Katie. It's June 2nd. This is right after her arrest. Imagine an evil woman creating this in child's image, then being blamed for doing it, and she shared that, whatever. Thank you, Michael, for your tireless efforts to hold Natalie accountable. You promised me last spring you'd make sure. And I'm sharing these, I'm going through these because she seems very happy that she's able to tweet about all this shit. Like, not just the arrest, just all of it, really. And here she says, one reason I was terrified of Natalie Kennett is because her aunt, Leslie Speed, was found guilty of murdering her 7-year-old son, et cetera, et cetera. That's interesting. That's interesting, because when I search Facebook, okay, I searched the West Mercia page on Facebook, and I typed in Natalie Kennett, then Natalie Speed. And I found the posting on Facebook regarding this arrest. That led me to the comment section of that post. And I saw that there was this one person on there, and mind you, this was a 4-year-old post, but there was one person in there who was commenting a lot, and she was commenting as though she knew the family. Like, she's a place of knowledge. She's talking about the family, and about the woman who was arrested. Leslie is her name, Leslie Speed. So I sent her a message on Facebook to ask her a question, and that's my next video. I should have just probably put that up next instead, but I didn't. So, shit. Okay, so this is just like a minute long. I want to play. I thought it's easier for me to just pre-record some shit, so I wasn't sitting here pulling stuff up and then going through the screenshots or whatever. So, yeah. Okay, so earlier today, I was looking on the West Mercia Facebook page, and I was searching again for Natalie Kennett's name, and I typed in Natalie Speed too.
I already
And
told this.
up came here we have a. I'm going to share something else with you. So here we have a 44-year-old woman has today been convicted of the murder of a 7-year-old Archie Spriggs. I can't say that far away. Leslie Speed, formerly of Roshbury Road, Roshbury. Anyway, I'm not gonna go through it. You get the gist of it. Okay, they explain how the kid was found and shit like that. Okay, so next picture. After this, I went looking in the screenshots, or I mean, in the comments of that post there, and I noticed that there was one name who was very supportive of, well, not supportive, but she was showing some compassion towards Leslie Speed here. And she also shared quite a bit of information about the family. And so I came to the conclusion that she must know the family, or know Leslie anyway. So I reached out to her on Messenger and I said, hi, I come in peace, because it looked like maybe she got a lot of hate from those comments there in that thread. So, and even though this is 4 years later, I was going to be mentioning the thread. I wanted her to know, like, I'm not here to start shit. So I said, hello, I hope this message finds you well. My name is Erin and I live in the US. I came across your comments on the West Mercia police page on Facebook, where you commented in support of Leslie Speed. I was hoping I could ask you a question. Do you know if Leslie had a sister named Tracy or a niece named Natalie? My interests do not extend to Leslie, so I assure you that this isn't me wanting to cause problems. I am just trying to verify something regarding Natalie, and I happened across your comments on the thread regarding Natalie's alleged aunt. So thank you very much for your time and consideration. Have a great day. Sincerely, Erin. And she said, I am not aware of a sister called Tracy. I know the one sister, and that's not her name. I could find out. To which I just basically replied, okay. Oh, thank you so much. If you're able to find out, that would be great, but only if it doesn't put you out at all. Thank you so much. To which they replied, no worries. So that's where we're at with that. Yeah. Someone. Thank you, Sue. God damn it. Ugh. Okay. Where did I leave off? Okay, yeah, so. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Oh, wait, what's that? What? Wait a minute. I'm getting something here. Oh, then this hour? Huh. Interesting. Okay. So I'll get to that later. So, as you heard, I reached out to the woman and I said, listen, you know, it seems like you know the family. Does Leslie have a sister named Tracy? And I asked about a niece, Natalie. And she said, well, I am aware of the one sister there, but her name's not Tracy. Okay. So that's you know, that's interesting, you know, whatever. And as like I was saying, which you don't know because you can hear it. Like I saw in chat here, someone had said, the only time you'll find anything out about anyone in the UK is if she's charged with a crime, arrested not public or whatever. And I've been told differently, because the arrests are made public. The court dates are made public, and on the magistrate thing there, magistrate site. And I thought that, well, maybe this because of the sensitive nature of the crime or whatever. But there's people listed for the same crime on this website. And again, she was even out on bail. So, I mean, this arrest went through the process. And so were other people listed on the site. And there were people listed on the site as having been arrested and or charged for crimes much like hers, even worse. So, and she's not a minor, so she wouldn't even be, I don't even think like the concept of privacy or whatever would even be extended to her because she's not a minor. Her victims maybe, or, you know, whatever, but not her. So, and it's not even just the arrest. I can't find anything about her anywhere online at all. Not on social media, nothing. Like everything I find, it's related to this lawsuit. I can't find anything about her on any other websites except for the ones on this lawsuit regarding this lawsuit or of recent. That's just strange. That is very strange to me. And then, you know, hearing how, well, her aunt really isn't Leslie Speed, it seems. So, I mean, granted, this is some stranger on Facebook, but this is someone who was posting on that thread 4 years ago, who made it quite obvious 4 years ago that she knew the family. So, I mean, it's not like someone was set up there to be there for my message to come through. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's that. Now, now, oh, back to what I was showing here. Okay, that's right. That's what I'm going to do. So going back to those screenshots. Okay, so I left out there. All right, so pick up here again with a picture there. She's Natalie's mom's younger sister. Well, 4 years ago when she was arrested, she was 44. I mean, I don't. Okay. Whatever. Moving on. Oops. Is it? So just let me scroll through. So here she says, this is from 6/6/22, right after the arrest. I've been sitting here going through 18 months of harassment, threats, false reports, and abuse. I'm slowly sending evidence to police in the UK. And I'm just kind of curious, like, where she was sending it. Because, I mean, I tried contacting them to tell them that Natalie contacted me. And I even stated as such. And I got nothing at all. So I'm just curious. Oh, okay, and here we have any of you that believe Natalie Kennett and encouraged her behavior, all of you are as bad as her. She created of my child, you all egged her on. Some of you helped her and should rot for that. And we all know that that's not true. The frustrating part here is that I am always the one to blame when all of the people I reach out have actually hurt me, but take no responsibility for what they've done to me. Can you maybe understand why I wouldn't trust people after what Nat and others have done to me? And a lot of these may not make sense. I'm just pulling tweets up around that time just to kind of remind people like where everyone's head was at. You know what I mean? That's basically it. So, so many people of the community, or so many of the people in the community you enjoyed for so long, have harassed, stalked, and abused my family for years. I have done everything for years to stop the propaganda and smear campaign, not to mention what most of the people accuse me of doing, they are doing themselves. In my opinion, it's not anyone's job on YouTube to tell anyone who to watch and not watch. Oh my God, it's funny. Oh, God. Trolls are not reliable sources ever. Part of reporting is hearing from all sides. Okay, just this hypocrisy is killing me. All right, and here's one from Unirock here. I thought it was interesting. Unirock can't wait to see Without a Crystal Ball on CNN telling her story against Nat. Like, who? Why would anyone be thinking that? Like, it's just kind of weird to me. Oh, and here's one too, because I keep being told how that stream on Kay Baxter's channel was not planned. But that stream was, I think it was July 19th, I believe. Maybe give or take a date, but right around the July 19th. This is from June 28th. I will be going on Kay Baxter's channel on Wednesday. I am only discussing the Nat LMN situation. I am not here to answer for gripes about covering the Duggars or anything about the lawsuit. The Duggars are public figures, and your criticism about my coverage is invalid. So now, for granted, the stream in which she was talking about that was planned was canceled. I get that. But the fact that there was a stream planned would stand to reason that there might have been another stream planned like 2 to 3 weeks later, right? I mean, it's not a crazy thought anyway. I mean, obviously, they were all in the habit of planning streams together, apparently. I mean, they did it once already, just recently, around the time. So, anyway. I thought that was interesting. And then here we have all this stuff that came out about me in the lawsuit from Lori and Nat that was influenced by these people. I did not do any of those things. I've never stalked Toddy or claimed anyone killed their mom. Their mother had a heart attack and oxygen was removed at end of life. Like, she's making it sound like that's all she was talking about. Well, then sadly, his mother died and then they removed the oxygen mask. Like, that's not at all what she said. Come on now. I mean, does anyone really think that after someone expires that they're going to leave oxygen there? I mean, come on. It's really, you don't even need to state that if that's the case. It's freaking ridiculous. Now she's talking to people about her arrest, Natalie's arrest more. I have no idea what is going to happen. Natalie lives in the UK. The detective told me that she willingly confessed to him to filing the false report. If they filed charges, she would be unable to come to the United States without facing arrest. Then she says, just a few days later, or about 10 days later, Nat is irrelevant. We can't prosecute her. She was manipulated. She didn't send the threats. Oh, no, wait a minute. That was from the 21st. My bad. I just noticed the year. My bad. That was from the year before. All right. So then we have, oh, this one's from the year before, too. Oh, I must have put these in the opposite order. Okay. Oh, yeah. This was after the stream on Kay Baxter's channel. It must have been July 17th then, because now I'm seeing the 18th here. I would like to thank Kay Baxter for being a host to a panel last night. She criticized me over the years, but she's not nasty. She treats people with respect and doesn't get into the weeds. Please don't send her any hate for having Nat on. That's very unfair. You are fair. No one has to like Nat. I do not like Nat at all, but she doesn't lie about everything. Okay, so there's that. Now I want to show you a couple other tweets here from after the arrest. And here's where I want to reiterate. Oh, no, wait a minute. Okay, that's the next folder. Okay. So here's the tweets I was talking about after the arrest. So here we have September 21st. That's this year, September 21st. Dear haters, stop believing these people who claim they know me. You all found a brand new Natalie, and you are believing every last word. You will never learn. But I pay the price every time with false police reports filed against me. I guess it gives you content, right? I think she was talking about the Erica chick or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure how she was a new Natalie, but whatever. So, oh, and this we have, she's talking about, this is after she just recently, over the past month maybe, she spoke to the detective there, and she says, will you please stop it? I'm streaming.
I just got food all over.
I'm sorry you dropped food all over. Stop yelling. Okay. She says Natalie Kennett's investigation for stalking, online harassment, terroristic threats, and creation of CP is active and ongoing, according to an email I received from the West Mercia police. I have now been added as a victim, and a new report has been filed. As a condition of Natalie Kennett's bond release, she is to have no contact with me, whether indirectly or directly. She is to not contact others about me or speak about me online. Thank you to West Mercia Police for their efforts to hold Natalie accountable. Now, I read that. I thought, why didn't she tag West Mercia Police? Because they have a very active Twitter account. They do. So I thought that was weird that she didn't tag them. I mean, I think I would have. So here on Instagram, she says, update on the stalking situation I've been dealing. With for nearly 2 years. The police in West Mercia have informed me that Natalie continues to be under investigation. She is to have no contact with me at all, whether directly or indirectly. Natalie is not to speak about me online or engage others to harass me. A new report was filed by me. God damn it, stop doing that. A few weeks ago for new harassment I experienced related to her. Oh my God. Sorry, I don't know why this is doing that. It's pissing me off. Please do not engage with this woman online. She is known to use hundreds of fake accounts, mask her IP address through VPNs, use fake accounts to make it look like I just remember that whole use fake account thing. Okay, just remember that. Like make it look like she's being attacked when she's actually attacking herself, and she is known to send horrific videos and images to her targets. Natalie filed dozens of false reports against my husband and me to police and swatted our home multiple times. I look forward to the day when Natalie is finally incarcerated for what she's done to me and so many others. Now, I mean, I want to just point this out here. Like, I got my balls broken because I just repeated a conversation I had. And I'm not even saying that that's the case. I don't know. I'm no fucking expert. I'm no lawyer. I don't know. I was just sharing something that was said to me. But I want to point something out here, though. She has not been arrested in the UK or the United States for any of those claims there. Like, are these countries just letting that shit go? I mean, I'm genuinely asking. Okay, I'm not insinuating anything when I asked this question, because, I mean, I know what I was sent, and I don't want to know what anyone else was sent, to be honest. I don't want to know, and nor would I share what I've been sent. But, like, I know what I've been sent. So I'm basing shit just off of that because that's all I can base it off of. I don't know otherwise. And I'm wondering if these two countries don't deem that as illegal, then why is that? Like, what's going on here? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm not even getting a response. I still haven't gotten a response from the FBI when I first reported this back in April 2021. Okay, so like a year and a half ago. I've gotten no response. I've gotten no response from the UK investigator who I've emailed. Oh, yeah, actually, I emailed more than twice now, because I emailed twice on the email account that was shared in that screenshot, and then I emailed again through from a different email to the actual email address that I was given for the investigator, and I've heard nothing back at all. So I just want to point that out. The only time I've heard back from anyone in this whole entire department or whatever is when I requested through the website to obtain this investigator's email address, and I was given an email address through my email. Like, that's it. That's the only thing I've heard back from. I don't get it. Anyway. So yeah, there's that. There's that. So, I mean, if there was this investigation going on, and maybe there is, I don't know. I don't know. That's the point. I don't know. But, and the shit that I'm not even, half the shit I wasn't even looking for. I just kind of happened to find it. But I mean, if there was this investigation going on, then and she did contact me, wouldn't those investigating want to know that? Like, that would be part of the investigation. Why has no one responded to me about that? That's just fucking weird. Anyway, moving on. One more thing. And then I'm almost done. So here's a tweet from around the time she was arrested. And this is one time when West Mercia Police was actually tagged. And it's by this person here, which this account is still there. Hi, West Mercia Police. That's their actual Twitter handle too. Hi, can you tell me if you've arrested and or charged Anna McKenna? Thank you in advance for your help. And then someone else replied with, you do realize they're not allowed to tell people that. They kind of are. Yeah. Oh, I mean, they are. If you have any information, they do not take reports over Twitter. Just ring them up. Ring them up. She will not be charged for at least a year. They take forever to check these things. They can release names, whatever. Okay. So I tried to find this post because I wanted to see if there was any engagement on this. You know, like, was there a conversation? Did West Mercia reply? I can't find this tweet anymore. It doesn't exist. It's been removed. So, because I search the Twitter account here for all tweets in between 6/6/22 and 6/8/22, and there's nothing, not a single tweet that comes up in advanced search. So I'm not sure when it was deleted, but it was deleted. And as you can see here, there's no engagement. There's no, well, here's the one comment, but there's no retweets. There's no hearts. There's just no engagement. So just pointing that out. Also, which again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm not. But the tweets I have of Salt's announcing her arrest and thanking West Mercia Police, they're not tagged. And there's no engagement from West Mercia Police. In fact, I can show you this. Okay. I don't know her date of birth. I have no idea. Well, it's apparently her bail hasn't ended because according to Katie, she's still out on bail or on bond or whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty sure like bail and bond are like the same thing. At least they kind of are here. I'm guessing that they are there. So I mean, she just spoke to the investigator just recently. You know, there's a new investigation even, and she's now listed as a victim. You know, so I'm just saying. Right. No, she'd be listed though, and her arrest would be listed as well. Even if nowhere, just local media will arrest that, or will address that. So, I have no idea if the police have her devices. Allegedly they did. I don't know. But she emailed me. So I don't know. Okay, so moving on. Shoot, what was I going to do? I forget. Oh yeah, the Twitter. So advanced search. Let me share screen. No, wait. So I'm going to do advanced search here. Now, there's 2 Twitter accounts I come across for West Mercia. Let me make sure I pull them up. Because I'm not even going to type it in. I'm just going to copy and paste their @ symbol, their user handle, so that there's no, risk of fuck up or whatever on my part. So we have West Mercia Police, which is at W Mercia Police. So let me copy that and then get over here to the screen. And from these accounts, I'm going to paste. Okay. And then the other account for them is West Mercia PCC, which is at West Mercia PCC, or PCC, yeah. So copy that and paste that in here too. Okay, so there's that. Now, any of these words, Katie, Nat, Natalie, Kate, Joy, WOACB, Kenneth, Speed. Speed might bring up a lot though. Shit. I think that might be it. Oh, results too. Okay, so yeah, we'll do that. And I'm not even going to put a time restraint on it. Just for all time. Just hit search. And we have National Speed on April 3rd, 2019. Actually, let me do latest so they go in chronological order. So we have October 14th. Something, what's this about? The Speed Watch, okay. The 26th. Speed, again. Speed. I already know that these are all just speed. I already know this, but I'll go through. My point is that there's been no engagement. There's been no engagement with this account with anyone from our community. Anyone, no one, not a person, not a single person has. There's been no likes. There's been no retweets. There's been no replies. There's been just nothing. I don't. I mean, that seems kind of weird. Like, it just does. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but same thing on Facebook. There's nothing on Facebook about her arrest or anything like that under either name. There's nothing about any discussion about this court case, about any of this event. Nothing. Like, this is kind of newsworthy, isn't it? I mean, granted, when she was arrested for all these weird internet sites to start writing about her arrest, that's kind of weird. But for her local area, that's newsworthy, right? I mean, it would be here if someone here were fucking with a lawsuit overseas and it being accused and arrested and all that shit. Like, people would be talking about it. But it's nowhere. It's nowhere to be found. I don't get it. No arrest is that hard to find. It's just not. And then on top of that, no one's gotten back to me. Then the thing with her sister's name isn't Tracy, that Leslie chick. Yeah. And like, there's nothing online about her. You know, like, and I'm not even talking like legal documentations or legal sites or anything like that, or official sites. I'm talking just social media, just internet activity, history. There's nothing. You can search Google, you can search DuckDuckGo, you can search Bing. And every image that comes up of her is connected to a site or a profile regarding this or surrounding this lawsuit. Everything written about her is only about this lawsuit or her arrest, or her alleged arrest from it. Like, and I mean, wasn't she arrested for some shit? I mean, she's kind of her stories, the shit that she's done or gone through in her hometown. Like, that's definitely newsworthy. Like, right? The stalking of her past psychologist or whatever. Wait, what? Yeah. Really text. Oh, is that another thing? Yeah, I don't know. He didn't post that, Claire. That's there's sites that kind of just have like a log or whatever of tweets. Like there's certain sites dedicated to Twitter, there's certain sites dedicated to Reddit, and they'll just list posts like and you can search it for keywords and stuff. It's they, I don't know why they exist really, but they do make searching for specific things easier. They just kind of like they mirror these accounts from these websites, and I think that's what this is, because I saw the name of it, well, I don't know, maybe not the pirate radio, the knitter part, maybe, I don't know, Unirock TV media, maybe it is a site, but I know that there are some or other media sites that he'll post to. I never heard of this one though. But either way, it's YouTube videos that are shared. Oh yeah, and that video, yeah, he didn't make that video though. I don't know who did. I forget who did. Whatever, it's funny. Anyway, so I was saying, this all just seems weird, right? It seems fucking weird. But yeah, no engagement, none. It's like none of us even exist to West Mercia, which is, I mean, whatever, it's fine, but it's just, I don't know, it sticks out to me. So what else do I have over here? Anything else? I thought, oh, that's right. I kind of didn't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to out one of Katie Joy's sock accounts. And because I want to point out how the person who says she doesn't have any sock accounts, y'all. And as I'm talking about how this propaganda is pushed and perpetrated through sock accounts and through mimetic warfare and whatever, I want to show an example of someone using these sock accounts for the purpose of spreading misinformation. Or, well, maybe some of it's true. It doesn't have Unirock, I guess. So I'm going to point to these posts and shit from what I strongly believe, emphatically believe to be one of Katie Joy's sock accounts. As soon as, right? Is it in that folder? I never renamed the folder. Okay. Oh, well. So we're going to start with this tweet. Now, this tweet has long been suspected of being one of Katie's sock accounts. It's just by a fluke thing, really, that I came across what I'm about to show you. So, no, wait, it's okay. So this is a tweet from, let's be honest, but this, okay. Uni is a bigot. He spews a lot of homophobic, racist, and transphobic rhetoric on his Twitter, not to mention his pro-Russia views and conspiracy theories. Just remember what that says, like word for word, verbatim even. I also want to point this out too, that the first name on that Twitter account used to be Sandra. I just want to point that out. That's all this is, just to point out the first name there. Okay, so next, this is from, where's, oops, where is the details? This is from the Without a Crystal Ball Facebook page. So here we have an account named Sandra Salamandra. Uni is a bigot. He spews a lot of homophobic, racist, and transphobic rhetoric on his Twitter, not to mention his pro-Russia views and conspiracy theories. So, I mean, considering it's verbatim the same message, it's pretty, reasonable to conclude that they're probably written by the same person. And plus the first name, they're both named Sandra. So, yeah. Now, how is this connected to Katie? Possibly. I'll get to it. This is from a group. This is from a Facebook group. And it's something like exposing something Molly Golightly and the Dre McRae or Von McRae, whatever, scam or whatever. It's something along that lines. I can get the actual name though, but just whatever. It's a very long name. And here's what this was just recently too. God damn it. No, that's not what I want. Go away. You motherfucker. Ah. Okay. So it says, this was on a post that was just sharing a stream of Unirocks. These were the only comments under it. And someone said, can't wait. Yay. Sandra writes, just a reminder that Uni is a bigot. He spews a lot of homophobic, racist, and transphobic rhetoric on his Twitter, not to mention his pro-Russia views and conspiracy theories. Uni on YouTube acts like a different person than Uni on Twitter. Just because he calls out Molly doesn't mean he's a good person. Okay, so still, you could, I think, rationally claim that, well, it doesn't mean that it's Katie still. Okay, I can see that. Now we have, this one is from this is from Nonsense's page, okay, in the comment sections. There was on a post about Nonsense saying how she's not Katie, or whatever, some shit like that. So someone says, well, for starters, I wouldn't care who ran the dang page. The truth is the truth, no matter who's saying it. Also, KJ blocks if you don't agree with her. I had always agreed with no nonsense, yet I'm still here. To which Sandra replies, that's not always true. I have criticized Katie many times. Never have I been blocked. Okay. Still. So next we have, this is from the group again, I believe. I don't know if I put it in the details, but looking at it, I know it's from the group. Oh yeah. From the No More Scams Facebook group, since what I titled it as. So here Sandra writes, Justin is no better than Molly at this point. Someone says, I was thinking he was different, and then Sandra says, he's just more quiet about it. You can see him sending Molly stuff about without a crystal ball by a text. Molly, I just sent you something, but don't say anything. Then Molly blows up reading the message he sent, and the screaming begins. I'm also disgusted that the nickname they use for Without a Crystal Ball is Casey Anthony. So, and there's there, right? Okay. There's more. Still, you could probably still argue that doesn't mean that it's Katie, right? Well, but there's more. And it's funny too to see like this account, some of the other comments and shit, but it's just funny. So here we have. That's weird. I don't know why I put this in there. Okay. These, I'm not sure. These are either from the Exposing Facebook group or from her Without a Crystal Ball page. So here we have just a reminder that Uni is a bigot. He spews a lot of homophobic, racist, and transphobic rhetoric on his Twitter, not to mention his pro-Russia views and conspiracy theories. Uni on YouTube acts like a different person. And so it says, because Katie said so. Oh, I think this was a Nonsense's page. Actually, now that I think about it. Because Katie says so, she's both paranoid about the report. She wasn't mentioned. And angry because Uni stole her story. Oh, this was just recently. Okay. And angry because Uni stole her story. We know how she reacts when she gets angry. It wasn't a creator. She would dox, if he wasn't a creator, she would dox him like she does for no reason at random people on Twitter. Nope. I have called Uni a bigot for months, way before Katie had anything. And so it says, that's not correct. Just because KJ's got an issue for some reason, she says this nonsense. Same with her complete misrepresentation of Nate. That's funny. Come on, go away. Okay, I can just keep going in order. All right. So then we have, damn it. Way before Katie. I have called out Uni way before Katie did. Also, I don't agree with what she said about Nate. Sandra, he is not trans or homophobic. He addressed the issue in a stream today. You might like to watch it to get his understanding because I can't speak for him. In my opinion, Uni is a bigot. Come on, go away. Then I would stop promoting Uni. I mean, considering the fact that he's a racist bigot, I know he says he accepts it. This was 4 weeks ago, mind you. I know he says he accepts everyone, but that's not true. He is super mad about a black girl is playing the Little Mermaid. He's promoting a video where someone took the trailer and made her skin white, which that was kind of fucked up. He also thinks he also thinks the Lord of the Rings TV show is forcing diversity on us. I really hope that's not true, because that's just that's one of the ridiculous things I ever heard. He doesn't understand why black people are in the TV show. He also thinks the movie The Woman King is racist because it only has black people in the movie. Oh, this is from the group. Oh my, I will have to look into this. Just go to his Twitter. You can find all his comments and likes there. LOL, Uni is throwing KJ under the bus with lies. He is also backpedaling. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in the backpedaling. Looking like a weak pussy right now on that live, shaking my head. It's not the first time he's have done this. The last time he did this was someone else. The same thing happened. Like, I mean, this person, if this isn't Katie, they seem awfully fucking invested in what's going on with Katie and all these different groups on Facebook and pages and Twitters. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about fucking Katie and how much they hate Unirock. So, come on, don't do this. Fucking, oh my God, I swear to God. Okay, there we go. Uni was good at exposing fraud racers before, but he didn't do it alone. This was from 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. He had a whole team behind him who normally does all of the work. I've heard that. They're the ones that sends Uni all the information. Uni just presents it. Someone says whatever. Oh, well, we were sending him info, including me. He yelled at me last night, called me a troll, whatever. I feel stupid. I thought he was different, whatever. I'm so over him. And then Sandra says, I would be too if I were you. He had no reason to yell at you. Whatever. The person comes back with something else. And then Sandra says, that's Unirock for you. I used to watch him before, but stayed away because of the things he tweets. He have full conspiracy theorist. I only watched a few streams he did on the Vaughn case. And I want to remind everyone too, that before this whole narrative continues to try to be pushed about how Unirock and Katie haven't been friends for like a year or whatever, Katie even admitted herself in one of her live streams, her Facebook lives, that she reached out to Uni and asked him to cover the Von McRae thing and the fundraiser and all that. She sent him everything she had. Just pointing that out. God damn it. Wrong one? No, I forgot. Okay, that whatever. All right, so then I want this one. This I thought was just weird. I don't know who Hannah Katz is, but come on. Here we go. I was looking for a message someone sent me, whatever. So this person posted this and saying that this person messaged, do you think asking Letitia for her donation back is acceptable? Do you think whatever? Kind of, why did I say that? I forget why. Oh, this is why. Sandra said and commented on this post, LOL, she sent me a message a few months ago. Can't believe she's still sending people messages. Okay. You'll see why in a minute. Moving on. Okay. Sandra wrote, Molly. She has no idea what she is doing getting involved with Roadhog. This is the same man who said Katie wasn't a victim of SA because she was a whatever. I believe that that's true. I believe he did say that, although I'm not sure if that's the exact word that he used, but it was along that lines. The same man who forced his ex to do that with dogs. Like, I never heard this before. That's fucking crazy. The same man who faked a pregnancy with his ex. This is just a very, very small portion of what Roadhog have done. Dogs, seriously? And the stranger says, that's what I heard. Like, I never heard this before. I really haven't. And this sounds like Katie just trying to start narrative. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. Like, that's fucked up, though. Either way, I don't care. I don't care if it's about Roadhog or not. That's fucked up to just try to start that narrative. It's fucked up. Then she wrote in another comment, I wonder if people would have donated if they saw this clip. We were only shown videos of Dre in a bad light. I'm ashamed that I judged her so hard in the beginning. Don't get me wrong. I still think her diet is dangerous for her kids and dogs. She needs someone to step in and tell her about the dangers of the diet. This is exactly the same shit Katie said. Exactly. Oh, wait, no, it's something else. Oh, I didn't put it in here, I guess. Okay, shoot. There's another post that I thought I took a screenshot of where in the comment section, Katie commented, or Sandra commented under something, and then that Hannah Katz account came in and commented right underneath it. That's why I saved that. I thought that was kind of funny. So my point is, I think that that's a Katie troll account. I really do. And it sucks. I mean, I probably shouldn't have outed this. I probably should have kept it quiet and just monitored it. But I know other sock accounts of hers. So, I mean, that's what she does. It's what she's always done. It's what she's done in the vaccine community. It's what she's doing here. It's what is done. And, like, my mouth dropped when I saw that Roadhog comment. Like, to my knowledge, that is not some rumor going around. I have not heard that. And I think that it's something that I almost would have fucking heard if that, if that were going around. So I kind of wonder if that's what she's doing. She's under a sock account trying to run narrative. I mean, she's been posting shit about Unirock since the beginning of September. So, I mean, she's definitely been trying to run that narrative for a while. But I don't know what her issue is there, but yeah, so there's that. And she's coming at him for shit that he's been doing all along. Like, this isn't new. This isn't news. And I do believe that much of the time where he's tweeting or replying or retweeting, it's to call attention to the stupidity that's in the tweet that he's referencing. I do think that that's the case. Although there are times where either that's not the case or he's just he's really doing a shitty job at Poe. You know what I mean? So that's about it. I think that's all I got. I got that off. Okay. Go through here. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. Okay. No, I did want to read this post. I thought this was the post I shared on Twitter earlier today. And again, why won't this just let me fucking scroll it? Oh my God. All right, so the last post here. This was on this was on in the Facebook group because that's that Danielle from the Dono Girls or whatever. So she also was one of the founding members of this Facebook group, I think. So Sandra wrote, using God's name in this way is blasphemy, from what I've heard. I'm agnostic and don't know much about God anyway. Danielle wrote, yes, and that's totally fine too. I don't want to offend or push my religion on others by any means. It's just so crazy to me. Sandra says, oh, I'm not offended. People can believe in what they want, but I don't like when they use God as an excuse to be a shitty person. I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. Sandra then says, also, sorry for my bad English, because this account I noticed somewhere else, they're trying to claim that they're from Norway. Mm-hmm. So, oh, and the picture too, the picture for the Twitter account is linked to another Twitter account. And the picture on this account, on the Facebook account, is linked to a Twitter thread on German Shepherds. So there's that too. Sorry for my bad English. I speak your English, or I think your English is very well. Danielle says, thank you. So like I said, I know I'm going to piss people off. I know it. And I'm not at all, I'm not implicating like anyone I've been friendly with anyways. I'll put it that way. It is what it is. So and is there anything else in here? Nope. And I just want to add something too, because I know people are going to come at me about the whole comment I made about the conversation I shared. I want to play this video because apparently I'm not the only one who thinks that there should be questions, because someone else said in a live stream that they no, they said what they said. I'm going to leave it at that. Let me just pull that up. Oh, that's another thing too. I'll pull that up in a second. So the email of the investigator that was shared in the screenshot, the one that I was not given from for him from the website, the email from the screenshot, I traced it back just through a search to someone else. Now this person seems to be from the UK, and they don't work for the police, but they will sometimes work with the police, I guess. But I don't know. It wasn't just like a safety thing. It was like an insurance thing or something, I think. But yeah, let me just share. Am I sharing? Oh. So, but here's the picture for him, which is not at all what the investigator looks like. That's the picture that leads back to the website or to the email address from the screenshot. That's the image that leads back to, and a name. It had a name. I forgot the name though, but I mean, you can always look that up again. It only takes a second. But yeah, so there's that. And the other thing, the video. And I'm probably gonna get some shit for playing this video too, but hey, I didn't say it. And I already played it kind of. I already covered it in one of my videos, my past videos. What was that? What was that? Oh, that's from a while ago. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Claire? What does that mean? Oh, AZ has become buddies with Uni. And it's nicer to KJ. So I do believe this is KJ. Got the info. I do believe KJ got the info from AZ. I would look around posts. The dog animal story came from the ex-wife. None of it surprises me though. Garbage is as garbage does. What fucking ex-wife would admit that though? Like, I mean, if it were true, who would admit that? That's crazy. Even if it were true, who would just go around saying, yeah, my ex said that about me? Especially if it's not true. I don't know. That just seems fucking crazy. That seems crazy. Like, who the fuck would admit that? Oh, he started the absurd story. Oh, really? Oh, and then, oh, I see what you're saying. And then Katie got that info from AZ. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, well, speaking of AZ. This is from a live stream. I have the date, May 24th. I think this was before Nat's arrest, maybe? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, no, this is when Nikki was on. After Nikki had Nat on her panel, and Nikki then went on Kay Baxter's panel. This was my entitlement translator video on that stream, because I couldn't pull it from that stream anymore because I couldn't find it. So. Oh, sorry, I forgot. My ear things died. I have to mute.
Her whole argument is, well, I haven't been arrested. Like, yeah, you're in the UK and it's internet stuff. Like, yeah, it's people's lives and it's very triggering and it's diabolical and stuff. But like, the FBI has bigger fish to fry than girls playing weird things on the internet. Like,
so yeah, I mean, even according to AZ, there it seems weird. I mean, how she didn't catch all kinds of shit for saying, why did you defend her or just downplay it as just girls playing weird things on the internet and that the FBI wasn't interested. I mean, why is that? Why is it now that it's okay for her to, or someone else rather, maybe specifically her, but anyone else really, to run that narrative? But when I just simply shared a conversation I had as a possible reason for why there's been no arrest at that time, I get called all kinds of horrible things and dragged all over the fucking Twitterverse. Like, that just seems weird to me. I don't know. Like, I'm not expecting like complete and total fair treatment of everyone across the board. No, of course, that's not possible. But this is a huge difference in reaction. And I expect a little bit of maybe biased reaction when it's your friend and when it's someone you really dislike. Okay, fine. But not like this. This was just absurd. I just want to throw that out there. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. That's everything I have for now. There are other things in the works though. But for now, that's all I have. And again, I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of rational explanation for all of this. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like, especially looking back at the tweet from those involved or those affected, and then looking at the emails that I was sent from Natalie. And it's just the way it reads like a fucking psyop. It reads like something that was concocted and unleashed on all of us on the internet here, on our community here, virtual community, was unleashed on all of us for the purpose of creating chaos and possibly for helping Katie come out looking a little better at the end, you know? And the way she has played into this victimhood, you know, like even her tweets recently, they were completely out of the blue. It seemed like she was catching a lot of shit, you know, from the lawsuits or whatever. So next thing you know, oh, just an update on the stalking situation I've been dealing with for 2 years now. And it hasn't been 2 years, mind you. You know, just, I am now named as a victim in the investigation. It's a new investigation. You know, it's like, and then, no, I think I'm going to play one more thing. I think I'm going to do this. Because the first time I watched this video, my gut feeling told me that she's full of shit. I mean, maybe it's because like I watched enough of her that I can spot her mannerisms, even if, you know, consciously or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's more than that. I think there is certain tells that she has. But just the arrogance and the happiness she displayed. She tried not to. She couldn't help it. Just fucking poured out of her. That kind of just told me that. Like, yeah, I mean, oh, then I couldn't find it to post, and I'm very pissed off. If somebody has it, send it to me on Twitter or email, and I'll post it right now. There was that one Discord comment, a screenshot of it from Unirock to Katie right after she got kicked from Unirock's server there over that whole Creepshow art incident. But the message or the comment from Unirock said something like, listen, Uni says don't worry about it. He's going to take care of it all, just like he did last December or whatever it was. Some shit like that. Like, that was in what, like December of 2020, after she served her lawsuit, and about a month maybe before that came around, right? So, just throwing that out there too. I don't know. Anyways, let me pull up this video. I gotta find it. I know it's on here somewhere. Okay, click it down. I don't know if I'll have it on here. I haven't uploaded to this in a while. You know, this I'm gonna have, I think, on my computer. No, actually, I think I have it on my other YouTube. Yeah, I know. I know that they're all buddies now. I've seen that for a while now. Lol, I love lols. Says it all has to do with KAZ, Julie. All those in that group are buddies with Uni now, so he's not gonna call them out. No, of course not. Just they're excused for some reason. Whatever. Here. Oh, where's my account? There it is. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? I have it unlisted. I don't have it. One second. I'm going to download it way back there, would I? I just was watching this today. Where the fuck was I watching it from? Okay. All right. Good thing I haven't watched many videos lately, so it should be right on here in my history. It's funny. I've listened to more music than videos I've watched. Anyone else use YouTube as like just make a playlist? I love it. Okay. Probably. All right. How many months back am I? Okay. There it is. Okay, I got it. So this is from 4 months ago, as you guys will all remember, I'm sure, once you see it. And I'm going to play it on fast and it's this video. This video, I feel like it's just, it gives it away. It gives it all away. I don't know. It's my opinion. Whatever. I don't care. And again, like, if you're going to continue to remain completely tone deaf to anyone who shares their opinion or their grievance with you, but yet you still expect people to give you their time and attention and also therefore your AdSense money. If you are going to be completely tone deaf to anything that they have to say and continue doing what you're doing and even go out of your way to continue doing it or do it even harder or do it even more because you're pissed off at the fact that they had the balls to even say something to you in the first place, well, then you kind of have to expect that people are just not going to not believe you and they're going to think you're kind of a crappy person or behaving like a crappy person, I think is a better way to put it. So I just want to put that reminder out there. So it's this video here. And I'm going to have to mute my microphone and try to remember to unmute.
Because I have had to learn in the last few years that guarding your privacy online can be really important in my line of work. And I learned the hard way, and that there's people out there that will do things online that under the guise of being anonymous that they might never do otherwise. And with the fact that they believe they are anonymous and untouchable, go to links that are really some of the worst experiences that my family has ever had.
Okay.
So I just want to start this off by, I'm a mama bear and I have a 9-year-old little boy. And that little boy was targeted by a woman online along with me. And I found out about this while I was involved in a lawsuit with Tati Westbrook. So a lot of you might know that Tati sued Without a Crystal Ball in 2020, and we settled the case. We went through a mediation process, which was very successful. And I would say, like, on my side of things, there's absolutely no hard feelings. And I feel like everyone left that day and that experience feeling positive. And we had a goal. We had a goal in mind, and that was that there was someone online that was doing things to people that were really, really bad, and they were doing things to our kids. There's a lot of videos about me, a lot. I mean, I understand if you want to talk about me, talk about me. Really don't care. I don't care if you say a million about me. I would be a hypocrite. I've learned the hard way because I used to get really mad when people made videos about me. Now I just don't even care, and I really don't care to comment because it's like, I kind of think of it this way, like, I go on my platform and I am a reporter and report on people in the public sphere. And most of these people don't reach out to me, or if they do, it's, you know, it's not a like antagonistic position. So I just sort of like let people talk. The hard part of the last couple of years is that a lot of stuff that's been out there about me has just been really, really false. But instead of fighting back, I've just been trying to allow things to happen behind the scenes instead from a legal perspective, so that I didn't ruin the possibility of the people that were doing this to be held accountable. So like last year, I did a video about last year I did this video where I basically explained to you that there was this woman that was out there searching for photographs of my son, and that this woman, in collaboration with some other people, was in this group chat trying to find photographs of my kid, posting, dating like photographs of my child, and trying to create videos of my son to try to get my husband.
I'm gonna pause it there for a second. Am I muted? No, no. Okay. I'm trying to send a link out here real quick. I'm gonna type for a second here, so I don't want to be interrupting that. And also too, like, I want to point out something too, like right from the get-go. And this has never happened to me before online. Like, I had a lot of people in my DMs trying to get me to report on Natalie or investigate on Natalie or whatever. Like, it just seemed really suspect to me. And none of these accounts exist anymore. Like, it's like, if she came in this community, if she was here to harm someone, to harm Katie, she sure went all out of her way from day one to out herself for wanting to do this. I mean, I get maybe we're not dealing with like a criminal mastermind or whatever here. I get that, but and then there's a whole DID claim or whatever. But I don't know. There's a lot of weird shit. I don't buy it. I don't buy Nat. I mean, I don't buy her as being here as someone with DID wanting to hurt someone else. I don't buy it. I don't believe it for a minute. And I never have, really. Like, I really expected, though, like an actual investigation to happen and maybe find some shit. I mean, I'm kind of curious just how it is that they didn't. I don't know. All right, so let me send this out.
My husband and I in trouble. I also explained that the same person and group of people, it's one person that I believe to be the mastermind, and then I think other people just got into the situation as like they were just collateral in this for her. Like she basically would go to anyone that didn't like me and capitalize on their dislike for me to make them not be objective in.
And boy, did she know exactly who to go to, right? Like it's almost like she's been watching for a while who didn't like Katie.
About me. So she posed as, just to give you sort of a high level of what happened, a woman named Natalie kind of posed as a friend of mine. So she created this online persona where she and I were best friends. And she told people that because we were best friends, she had all of this information about me. She started this when I was in the lawsuit with Hockey Westbrook.
Wait, I don't get that. Online persona, like an online persona, that to me, that's like stock account, like a different name, a different location, like the whole different person, right? It's like online persona, like if she were representing herself as her own persona, but misrepresenting a relationship with someone, then that wouldn't be a persona that she's misrepresenting, or trying to that just seems like a weird way to put it.
Westbrook, and she began to insert herself into my life and has told a lot of people that we were friends when I've never met her ever before. So through this scheme of hers, she basically tried to convince everyone we had a relationship when we never did. I'd never even spoken to her. The only time I think before this all started, I'd received a single message from her, I think on my Instagram at the time. It was something about how some of my followers had said something that she didn't like, and that if I didn't denounce something that I was like condoning or supporting what was happening to her. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And at this point, I spent a lot more time like in my DMs, talking to people, talking to subscribers, talking to people, just getting to know them. And I didn't have the best boundaries, I would say, with who I spoke to and what I shared. I think at a point she sort of capitalized on that, but then she also created like all of these other fake accounts. So it got to the point where I didn't even know who I was talking to a lot of the time in my DMs. So if I don't respond to your DMs, it's because of Natalie, because she has created probably hundreds of aliases over the last 2.5 years. And she has tried to basically ruin my life and other people's lives. And it's been pretty,
I want to point out too, like how, like when I was just going through and looking for stuff, like here and there over the past month, like there were several other videos that I watched of hers, of Katie's, and it was right around the creep show art period. Like she really pushed hard to blame everything on creep show art. Like, and creep show art, she was responsible. Like she was blaming creep show art for Natalie too for a while because of creep show art's one video. And she just really wanted that video taken down because, she didn't actually call Sophie Long a brat, she did though, she did. But like I forgot how adamant she was to go after creep show art. Like, I don't know why that's just sticking out to me now. I don't know. I don't get it.
It's been overwhelming. I would say a lot of the little situations that I found myself in, she has made worse, or she has tried to like put up my expenses. She has influenced people to sue me, or she has, I believe, or she has given them information about me to make them think I'm someone that I'm not. And that's what happened with the Westbrook case. Is she basically inserted herself into the case, and they, for a point in time, believed what she was telling them about me until they realized that what she was telling them about me was false. So she told them that
from what I understand, the whole explanation, rationale, whatever, behind Nat's extreme hate for Katie is because they were allegedly in a Facebook group or something together, and Nat's expected or whatever Katie Joy to kind of like back her up or whatever, like, I don't know, stick up for her or something. It was on some issue regarding mental health. I don't even, it was like a social issue, and Katie Joy didn't. So naturally, the understandable response then is to make like 600 Twitter accounts and emails and, you know, stalk and harass someone and, you know, try to report them to every agency in their country. You know, like, you know, it just seems like an awfully big reaction to something that happens to most people like every day, I think, to a degree, you know, it just, I don't know. And like, I mean, I think I've slighted Natalie more than Katie did in that explanation. So you make that make sense. Oh, I was answering the question, that's why.
Was hacking people, that I was sending like all kinds of D threats to people, that I had all these aliases, that I was doing all of these like illegal activities with people, that I was trying to ruin people's lives, that I had some sort of relationship with Clark Swanson, who was Taki's business partner. She created all of these scenarios which were completely false. And I started getting thousands upon thousands of emails about this, like saying that I needed to give the video I had with Clark, or I needed to do this that I had with Clark. Like she was trying to basically say that I was going to get arrested if I didn't provide information that I had, or that she had proof of this sort of weird relationship that I had with Clark, which I just did not have. So she was trying to prove that there was this connection between me, her, and Clark. And she was also trying to, like, in a way, say that she had information for the Westbrooks that would help them because of that relationship with Clark. It was completely not based in fact, and it was proven to not be true. And I'll be completely transparent. As a part of our settlement, I gave them my communications with him. So they have everything that I had with him, and it's not that much.
See, that's weird. Yeah, like the people named or whatever in this were the person who was her source in the lawsuit. Like, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, the first thing that dawned on me when all this shit was going on was like, I realized the effect that it had on me just watching this play out. And the effect that it had on me was, this is chaos. I'm out of here. Fuck this. I can't even follow this shit. This is just crazy. It doesn't make sense. Fuck this. I'm out of here. You know, and I feel like that was the intent of it all, for everyone to be like that. Because I mean, even the judge was throwing shit out, or from what I recall, regarding Natalie Kennett's affidavit or whatever. So yeah, I mean, just
not that much. So there was so much misinformation during that case because of people like Natalie inserting themselves into it, that from a legal perspective, moving forward, we've just stopped talking about all the legal situations because it just fuels all these people and encourages them to enter into the lawsuit. And the attorneys that I have today are much more, I mean, Michael Brown, who's my attorney in Washington.
That's what I'm going to do over the next maybe week or so as I stream. I'm going to play older videos, not older videos, but videos around this with these crazy claims from like Unirock, from Katie. Just remind people like what was being said, like the whole claims of like, we handed the evidence to the FBI, like they did. Like Natalie gave Katie the evidence, and Katie gave that to the FBI, because that would ever happen in the real world, right? Yeah, just I want to now that just more and more shit comes to mind, I want to just revisit. That's all. I may lose all my subs for this, but I'll feel better.
Washington was faced with a very impossible task at the time. And my attorneys here are a lot more like, we ignore what happens on social media and we just let it play out in court, which has helped me greatly with navigating what Natalie has done in my life. So she inserted herself into my life. She created all of these fake accounts, and
she's fucking happy. She's smiling about this. She's giddy. She's fucking giddy. That is like the best perfect word for her entire demeanor throughout this entire video. She's fucking giddy.
She reported me to the authorities on multiple occasions. Now, her, because of what she's done and because of how she's involved herself with other people, she has gotten people with much larger platforms to believe these things about me. And so that has fueled some of what's happened to me as well, because some of the people that have sued me, I don't want to say their names, I believe have been fed information from her. So people believe these weird things about me that she tells them. So some of the lies that
she's blaming the lawsuits. I'm not lying to the people who have sued her. What? Is that why you settled with Todd, really? Because Natalie lied to Todd?
That she has created, and she told people, was that because she and I were best friends, that my child was being hurt by my husband.
Oh, that there was too. Remember when Lindsay Chrisley posted that communications or whatever, that message thread, and everyone's like, no, that's bullshit, that's fake, that's from Nat or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Notice that they didn't happen until after they're falling out, you know? Just saying.
I was hurt by my husband, that I wanted to leave my husband, that she documented proof of what my husband was doing to both me and to my son, that she had photographs of me that had injuries, that she had photographs of my son with injuries. And when her story started falling apart and people realized that she was lying about that kind of stuff, she went to the extent to try to take images of my son's face and transpose them onto bodies and created a manufactured CP. And she wanted to create videos of my son in CP to get me arrested or my husband arrested for CSAM, which she got transfixed on because of my coverage of the Duggars, I'm assuming. She seemed to, no matter what story I was covering, she would.
What? Like, Natalie, or the person emailing as Natalie, gave plenty of other reasons or excuses on why there would be an alleged fixation of hers. Like, and not one of them was the Duggars. Like, where did that even come from?
Somehow get fixated on that topic, and then everything that would come my way would have to do with what that person was doing. So in the Duggars case, she lied and said that she was part of this religious organization and bad things happened to her in this organization. She tried to manufacture CSAM with my son's image and with Michael Saltz's daughter. She got to a point where I was receiving, I would say, some days, hundreds of these emails.
She's
from her,
happy.
which included threats, videos that were very graphic, descriptions of what she would do to my child, descriptions of what she was going to do to me that were very graphic. I mean, I have a folder to this day, which I've still kept in the event that at some point she gets arrested, which she has, that I'm going to hand over to the authorities and they can do with it what they want. But this was all the stuff that she had said to me, and it was horrible. And it put me in a position where we were really scared for our safety. We debated moving. We had police here. The sheriff was amazing throughout the process here, but it was made more challenging by the fact that she was then going online, and anytime I would say something happened, she would say that I was lying, and then people would say that it didn't happen. So it was like I was being gaslit even when I was telling the truth. Like, if the police showed up here, she would tell people that didn't happen.
See, here's the thing. Like, people oftentimes do and have thought that Katie was lying about this shit and really about anything she claims. But like, that was happening long before Nat, and Nat had the illusion, the knowledge of that has nothing to do with that. Like, nothing. That's all about Katie. That
didn't happen, and they would believe because they didn't like me. I'm assuming she would use that we were friends. I don't know how she convinced people that we had a relationship, other than I know that she's creating fake messages. So she had successfully convinced people, multiple people, lots of people, that I'm this horrible person that's doing really bad things. And so people were making videos buying into this, that I was a hacker, that I was sending people messages. I mean, they were, during the stuff with the lawsuit, I think Emily Baker was getting stuff too. And so people were then accusing me of sending these things to Emily, which I was like, I didn't want Emily to be a target of her either. Like, anyone that was remotely connected to me became a target of her. And people that spoke out against her and defended me became targets of her. So I can specifically think of Kay Baxter, who has a channel that's covered me. She's been critical of me. I will say that in all of the people that I've spoken to that cover me, that are critical of me, she's by far like the most respectful and treats me like a human and asks me questions. So thanks for that, Kay. So Kay defended me, and she then became a target.
You notice how she almost slipped up there and said, of all the people I've worked with, spoken to.
At one point, I think Charlotte on the web said something in defense of me, and then she became a target. I think T-Spiracy might have become a target at some point. I just think like all these different people eventually became targets, and then people that were working with her and helping her were indirectly becoming targets too, but they were ignoring it because they were getting all of these threats, and she was telling them that I was sending them, but she's like befriending them, telling them that I'm doing this to her and to them. So she would have to, like, every single person she went to, she had to like spread this conspiracy and scheme wider. She had to make it look like she wasn't involved in it, and it was always me. It really made no sense. And she convinced people that I was sending the messages that I was receiving to myself. So everything I did was I was doing it to myself. Everything that was happening to other people was I was doing it to them. Natalie was the one that was telling the truth. Natalie was one, and she used mental health as her excuse. So anytime something would come up, she would fall on it that she had dissociative identity disorder or that she had some severe mental illness and that we were supposed to excuse it. So anytime she got caught doing something, she would use a mental health issue and use that as an excuse, which over time became very manipulative when they know that if they say this, you're not going to fight back, because in my eyes, I'm not going to go after someone who's going through mental health crises because I've gone through them too. And I'm a mom of a child with autism. Like, I'm sympathetic to that kind of stuff, and I don't want to hurt people. And I think she played on that a lot with other people. And then there's just been all these other minions that they know what she's doing is wrong, but they don't care, because as long as it's happening to me, they'll excuse what she's doing and they'll justify it because they think that I'm a bad person. I don't care.
That is just bullshit. That is bullshit. there's always outliers. There's always some people who are going to take the extreme point of view or whatever. So yeah, I get that, but the overwhelming majority, right off the bat, right from the get-go, when this was believed and understood and learned to have happened, everyone right off the bat was like, yeah, no, that's fucked up. That shit ain't right. Like, not even Katie deserves that. Like, that's what people said. Not even Katie deserves that. No one was, oh, well, she's a horrible person anyway. She deserves it. Like, who the fuck even thinks like that, really?
Care if people don't like me, and I don't care if there's like these creators that think I'm an evil person. They've been misled by this woman, and finally, I can't believe this, she was arrested yesterday. And I know for some of you, none of this will ever make sense, and for some of you, you're just like, why the hell are you even telling me this, Katie? And I feel like it's like for
I just don't believe when she says that.
a year and a half, I've been pretty quiet about
What
it.
the
I don't
fuck?
talk about it.
When she says that she was arrested, like, I don't believe it. Like, she reminds me of that video with over the R word comment with the fake little red account. Like, that's what she looks like. This is the mannerisms and shit that she has. You know, it just
About it. Once the FBI got involved, I didn't speak about the investigation because one, I figured she would tell people I was lying and people would think that didn't happen. Even though 3 separate agencies were involved. So we first got the Seattle agency involved, then it moved to the Los Angeles agency, then it moved to the Philadelphia, or a group in Pennsylvania. And it was the group in Pennsylvania that executed multiple search warrants and did a full investigation because we were of the belief that there was people involved that she had brought into the scheme that were from the United States and she was from the UK. And the FBI was like, if she's from the UK, there's not much we can do. If we can find someone that she was corroborating or like collaborating with here in the United States, we can certainly get her charged on that. And their specific issues were the morphing that she was doing with my son's image and Michael Saltz's daughter's images. So it's actually a federal crime of obscenity, and under the statutes of CSAM, you can't morph a child's photograph onto a body that's in a position that's unclothed. It's considered indecent and it's considered CSAM. So they were going to, if they could, try to prove that and charge these people with like production, which was 20 plus years. So I had to be really quiet. And so after a very exhaustive investigation, it came down to the fact that they believed it was all coming from Natalie, and that even if other people were brought into it, they eventually became victims of Natalie. And so people would cut her off, but then she would create emails and messages and make people believe that people were talking to her, even though they weren't. And while the investigation with the FBI was going on, we were trying to get anything that we could from Natalie, and we were trying to get her to all the investigation with came to the fact that they believed it was all coming from Natalie, and that even if other people were brought into it, they eventually became victims of Natalie. And so people would cut her off, but then she would create emails and messages and make people believe that people were talking to her, even though they weren't. And
so Natalie made Natalie made these accounts to trick people into thinking that they were talking with Natalie, even though they weren't talking with Natalie.
And while the investigation with the FBI was going on, we were trying to get anything that we could from Natalie, and we were trying to get her to we had to play I had to play nice guy with her, to be nice to her, and I had to try to get information from her. But the information was always just so convoluted, and her story would change, and then she would have her mom email me, and then she would email me, and the stories never matched up. I mean, it got to a point where she literally admitted to the police in my county that she falsified records and reports. And then there was discussion with the sheriff's office here: are we going to charge her with filing false reports? And that was another thing that we were talking about with the FBI. And they eventually came to the conclusion that without Natalie, everyone else was sort of ancillary, and they didn't feel like they could bring anything against anyone here in the US because Natalie was creating so much fake documentation to make it seem like all of these people were doing things that they weren't doing. So during that process, a lot of us were we're pointing fingers at a lot of people.
I also want to point out too, the whole fake documentation, that's been very rampant in the dissemination of disinformation regarding the whole QAnon movement and everything, to the point where the person who I've been talking to, he himself actually created some of this fake documentation, and this is just, it's common. And as I was being told this, I was reminded of an email that Nat had sent me towards the beginning there, where she sent me this documentation of her mental health issues or diagnoses. I mean, I wouldn't know how to verify that shit. And I don't really care. I don't care. That's just not everything needs to fucking be looked into. And that's something I don't care to look into. But, Yeah, so but I was reminded of that. Okay. Where's my phone?
Well, like this person did this person did that, this person did this. And I believed it because that's what I saw. I was seeing people interacting with her and saw them working together. And the FBI believed that she was the mastermind. When we got that news, it was really hard because we wanted her to be held accountable. Imagine going through the worst stuff of your life. You've got police at your house saying that you've been reported for producing CSAM and you're like, I didn't do that. Or you're harboring Brian Laundrie. I mean, that literally happened. Or, I mean, that my husband was live streaming and was threatening to hurt me. You know, it was stuff that was just so off the wall that the police were like, I think she's trying to get you hurt through us. So then we had to develop like this whole system of like, how do we protect?
That's another thing too. Yeah, like these claims were so fucking off the wall. Like it's almost like they were meant to be off the wall. Like so they wouldn't really be taken that seriously, and no one would actually really get hurt. I mean, I don't know. I can rationalize anything at this point, and I agree. I'm looking at a lot of this through bias. I get that. I'm not completely oblivious here to my position, but whatever.
Our safety from her through these reports, and then they have to follow up on this stuff because what if it wasn't true? You know, what if it was true? Like, what if I was being hurt? What if my son was being hurt? They would get in trouble for not following due diligence. After this whole thing came to pass with that, and they narrowed it down to her, they still don't know if she's been pushed or aggravated to do these things by other people, or motivated by other people with larger platforms. That we don't know, but we do know that she was in.
But she said earlier in this video that she was
a lot of it. So Michael Sell and I were really disappointed when we found out about the FBI, but Michael didn't drop it. I kind of like, once the FBI said they weren't going to do anything, I just lost hope. And I was like, I don't think that anything's going to happen. And I got in, I stayed in communication with Michael and he would keep me updated. I mean, for a long time, my conversations with Michael were daily, as we were trying to work this out, figure this out, and fight for our kids. And he made a promise. He made a promise to me, and he made a promise to my son.
See this. She came across as more worried earlier throughout all this whole ordeal. Like now she's just not coming across as someone who's worried at all. Like this is, I don't know, like she's not sweating. Like, I don't know.
Son, and he made a promise to my husband that he was going to hold the people accountable that did what they did to her, to his daughter, to his family, and to my family, and to anyone else that was collateral damage as a part of this. And he made good on that promise. Michael posted this on his Twitter, and I just want to prove to you this is real. He said, I'm advised that Natalie Kennett has been arrested today and had her electronic devices seized by the West America Police Department in the UK. Conditions of her bail state she may not own or possess any device capable of connecting to and send any messages or images from the internet. If you're contacted by Ms. Kennett while she's out on bail, please document it and contact me privately to obtain information on how to submit such evidence to appropriate detectives. If you are a V related to CP images, threats to your children, and or the fabrication of DMs and emails, and you believe Ms. Kennett was involved, email me your information privately to be passed on to the appropriate detectives if you're willing to make a statement. He said, we thank the agents at the FBI offices in Seattle, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia that worked this case. We also thank the constabulary detectives and forensic teams of the West America Police Department for their hard work they have done and continue.
Why is she calling it West America? Like, when was this recorded? Okay, June 2nd. So it's like a day after, well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, about a day after the arrest. Like, by this time, I'm pretty sure Michael Saltz had done his corrected tweet with the correct name of the department. Instead of West America is West Mercia. Why is she calling it West America? Like, I feel like she should know the name of the police agent. Like, I feel like Michael Saltz's tweet was a typo. Like, he didn't really think that the place was called West America. He wasn't trying to type out West America. I think he was trying to type out West Mercia, but it just, for whatever reason, came out as West America. But she's calling it West America.
Continue to do in this case. And then he thanked another person who was doing some work with him on the internet. So long story short, if you are someone that has been affected by this person, contact Michael. I am prepared to fully cooperate with this investigation, so I'm not going to be making much more comments than this. And I wanted to say that, like, when I say that she's done something, that's my belief. I hope they can prove, like, they've proved it here in the United States through the FBI that she did these things. So I feel like I can confidently say that. But, like, on the UK side, I think they're going to have to make that same determination. So they're going to have to go through a lot. I know that they got her phone yesterday and a bunch of other stuff, and they're going to be looking through all of that. So if you have seen these videos where people just can't stop talking about me, part of it is because Natalie and what her like behavior has, how she's twisted people's minds about me. And I just want to say this, whether or not you like someone on the internet or you don't like someone on the internet, don't get so lost in your dislike of someone to actually go after and report things that are just false. Like, it's one thing to report on a criminal case or a public figure and doing research and that kind of stuff. Like, what I do here is I try to stick to what's happened in court and what are people telling me or what's being posted online. I try not to, assign things to people that haven't happened. I try not to be misguided by not liking someone to just create something to get a view because I'm bored, because I want the attention.
So which one applied to Letitia Bias and to Molly Golightly? And,
Or whatever it is. Just remember that being blinded by hate for someone doesn't absolve you of responsibility to not spread information that's hurtful and not to participate with people or engage people that are creating CP. There are literally creators that were defending her creation of this and saying I did it or that it wasn't that bad. Until your child is on the other end of this and it's your child.
No one said that.
Even the people that had their kids as targets were trying to defend her because they hate me. What if your child grows up and sees that video and sees that mom did not fight for her or him, and mom was justifying that a stranger on the internet made CP with their image, and that's out there on the internet now. That's horrible. I don't want that kind of content out there about my son, and that's why
literally no one has justified it. No one has fucking justified it. No one.
Mom, I'm not going to stand by and let that happen. You do that to my kid, I'm going to know who you are, and we're going to figure this out. And I just want to thank Michael Self.
I just want to point out too, like she's wearing the Mama Bear shirt there, and someone in my comment section said to me a while ago that they believe that the YouTube account Mama Bear 1 is Katie. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. It very well could not be true. I don't know, but it was like over a year ago that someone left this in my comment section. And I just want to say that that's the account that had been in Charlotte's chat, which Charlotte had, and her moderator there took care of it. They removed the comment and everything by now already. So it's whatever. It's no shots being thrown here. No hard feelings. It's all good. But I'm just pointing out that that's the account that made the comment there in one of Charlotte's live streams that they hoped that something would happen to us, but not something so that we're hurt that bad, but just so that we learn our lesson. And that whole stream was basically, well, I was pretty much the only person really mentioned throughout the stream. And it was all about like how I was supporting Ren and I was an art apologist or whatever shit, some stupid shit like that. So you can kind of put two and two together what that account was saying. Now, again, I'm not saying it's Katie. I don't know. Just it's weird that someone left that in my comments like a year ago, and then I see that comment come up in Charlotte's stream. It's just, I don't know. It's like it sticks out to me. And I'm not sure. There might even be an account that said something else. I'll look that up in a minute.
else for doing it. Probably never. The people who don't like me already don't like me. I just don't put this on anyone. And if you're hurt by her, I just feel for you. Sorry. What she did terrible. What she's done to my life and what she's done to me has been terrible. I mean, there was people that hate me so much that defended her and said that I was making this about me. And I'm like, I was the primary target here. It all started with her hatred for me. I mean, there's other people, she's probably done this before me. But when it comes to this group of people, it was me that she targeted. It was me that she wanted to go after. It was me that she wanted to destroy. And then all the other people got hurt too. And Michael's kid got hurt. Michael's family got hurt. His lab practice got hurt. Like, that's not acceptable. The rest of the channel, like, people are always, well, what about this person that's always talking about you? You guys, I don't care. Let them talk. Content. Like,
here's the thing. If she's updating her viewers and everything on the arrest of Natalie and her, or why is she not going into talking about channels who talk about her? Like, it feels like the arrest is I don't know. It's not the reason.
like, we have a literal rule in our house. Like, we don't watch the negative stuff about me. We don't engage in it, and it makes our life happier. You know, we don't deal with it. And if things come up and these people provoke someone to sue me, we deal with it legally. I mean, these people egg people on to sue me. They've egged people on to start class action lawsuits against me by giving them false information about me. It's crazy. So why are you always getting sued? Because Natalie Kennett insists herself, spreads lies about me, and makes people that are already on the verge think that they have a case because she considers them a bad person, and she has a group of enablers that help her because they want me to get sued as well. And I thankfully had one of those cases dissolved and settled, and Michael has learned, and Tati, that I'm not the bad person that Natalie told him I was. and we hope to resolve the other issues the same way.
Wait,
So
what?
For that,
What? When did Natalie tell Toddy and Michael that Katie was this bad person? Like, and she makes it sound like that's why they sued, was because what Natalie told them. And what was it? She said Michael learned,
I'm the bad person. That person, she has a group of enablers that help her because they want me to get as well. And I've thankfully had one of those cases dissolved and settled. And Michael has learned, and Tati, that I'm not the bad person that Natalie told him I was.
Michael has learned, and Toddy. Wow.
And we hope to resolve the other issues the same way. So for that, if you have ever been on the receiving end of anything like this, just know that you're not alone. The best advice I can give is try not to fuel the fire. Try not to give it too much attention. Try not to make them excited. Like, I will say this, the more I talked about it, the more amplified she got. The more I shared of things that she did, the more excited she got because she got attention for it. Every time she did something to me that she could inflict pain on me and I responded, she rejoiced in that. And she rejoiced in the attention that she got from the haters that hated me, that were making videos about me. And she got off on that, on hurting people and hurting me. So the case is ongoing. She was arrested yesterday. If anyone named Natalie Kennett reached out to you, contact Michael Saltz. He's on Twitter. And to those of you that believed me and knew that I was not the one doing these things, thank you. To those of you that didn't believe me and believed her, I hope you can come around and realize that it wasn't me and that it was her. And I hope you realize that just because you don't like me doesn't mean that I'm guilty of things that I didn't do. You can just find a rational reason not to like me rather than creating reasons. Like, I don't like Josh Duggar because of his, he downloaded CSAM and hurt his sisters. Like, that's a valid reason not to like someone. Not liking someone, the lady on the internet said she's her best friend and that her husband's doing things to her and there's no evidence. That's not really a reason not to like someone. Like, there's valid reasons not to like Josh Duggar. There's valid reasons not to like cults that abuse women. But me just existing on the internet, if that annoys you, I'm sorry. I'm not going away. Natalie couldn't make me go away. And if I can get through Natalie, I can get through anything. I want to thank all of you guys who took the time to watch this.
Yeah, so don't hate me because of like things that Natalie says. Hate me because of like how you hate Josh Duggar. Like, that just didn't come out the way I think she meant it to. I don't know.
Who have supported me, who have engaged in this kind of behavior. I would encourage an audience to engage in this kind of pattern of behavior and just be super careful about who you communicate with online. Don't give out too much information. Don't share personal details with people that you don't know. Don't give them any details about your life that they can use against you. And don't trust people that easily. There's a lot of people online that want to do things, bad things to people. And like we have to tell our kids, you have to be careful of strangers. You have to be careful of strangers as an adult too. And if you develop any size following, I'm by no means a large creator, but any size following on this platform, you have to be careful. So don't get mad at me if I don't respond to your DMs. I want to, but Natalie kind of changed my whole perspective. But I do.
Yay!
Hello.
Hi.
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 So I haven't been listening. Hi, everybody. Oh God, I got to get my iPad out of my cat dumped my tea on my iPad, so it's in rice. Anyway, so I can see the comments. So I haven't listened to all this. I listened to the end, since I got your message, I've been listening.
Oh, so you missed. Okay.
I missed the whole beginning.
There's a lot.
But you talked about what you and I talked about, right? I mean, we talked about
yeah.
What you were going to talk about.
Yeah, you know all about that. But yeah, the whole like beginning part though, like the whole by discussing of Q and like the similarities and shit like that. That's all that you probably are unaware of at this point.
Yeah, but you told me a little bit about that. My iPad's dead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Did I tell you about how I messaged on Facebook someone who knows allegedly who was Natalie's aunt, the one that was arrested?
No.
Oh, there we go. Oh my God, you sound so much better now. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So when I did a search on Facebook there, I went to West Mercia Police's Facebook page, and I searched their Facebook page for Natalie Kennett and Natalie Speed, and the the article, the posting came up. There was just, I don't know, just whatever, reporting on the arrest of who was allegedly Natalie's aunt. Her name's Leslie. So I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's right. So I'm like, thinking I'll check out the comments. So I'm going through the comments, and there's one person who kept commenting, and her comments contained like information like pertaining to the family. So it became obvious that she knew the family. So, and mind you, this post was 4 years old, but I'm like, okay. So I messaged her. I'm like, hey, my interest here isn't with Leslie, just so you know, but it seems like, the family. I was hoping you could answer a question for me. Can you tell me if Leslie has a sister named Tracy, or if she has a niece named Natalie? And so she responded to me. She said, I'm aware of a sister, but her name's not Tracy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And
So,
I mean, did she prove that it was
no,
her?
she said that she was gonna, I can, check and like verify or whatever for you. I'm like, oh my God, yes, thank you so much. I'm like, only if it doesn't put you out too much. So yeah, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And she's like, no worries. But that's where it's left. So
okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought that was weird. Like, I don't know. Like this person, she obviously knew the family. Like she knew the child who, sadly been, killed. Someone else had put in the comments, they only commented this the one time though. They said like every woman in their family's crazy or some shit like that. And so she's responding to that comment. So I mean, it's like she knew the women in this family, it sounds like. So I don't know.
So odd.
So we'll see.
It's so odd
Yeah,
to not really know. I mean, we don't really know anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, and I get that. See, there's just too much though. There's too much. Like I just, if other shit was found or out there or whatever, or known or seen, and just her arrest or whatever wasn't anywhere that could be found or, verified. Okay, fine. I can maybe get that. But like, I can't find anything, like any internet activity of her other than what has to do with the lawsuit or Katie Jordan. Like there's
Right.
nothing else. And also like, shit, I forgot. Damn it, I forgot what else I was gonna say. So yeah, there's like, so there's the whole thing with her aunt or whatever, okay? And then there's just nothing. There's nothing about her with that name in the area where she lives. There's nothing about her activities or whatever online. There's no friends. There's no nothing. There's no, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
You would think by now we would know something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would think by now there would be proof of something. Yet there's none.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I just, I mean, I've had my theories for so long, and people have like tried to silence me from speaking about them, right? And painted me into whatever narrative they want to paint me into. And so I just got to a point where I just don't even engage with it.
Yeah,
but it's
that's where I got
mind-blowing.
it too.
It's all so mind-blowing, the lengths people are willing to go. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I wish
it really
the truth would come out. I really do. I wish the truth would come out. I don't know.
like, and the whole fact, like, she hasn't been arrested, or she's been arrested, but like, there's all this legal, I don't know, activity going on. Like there was the investigation here, there was the investigation there, there was the arrest there, and then Katie had her TROs, whatever that she took out on people. Like, but nothing stuck anywhere. Not a damn thing stuck anywhere. But yet, people are so insistent that she did these horrific things. And I'm not saying she didn't. I don't know. Whatever. I don't have a dog in that fight. If she did, whatever. But like, I just don't understand how someone who did all these horrible things is just get away scot-free, and she's just like, you know, I don't know.
And
And
we're
then
and they've come after us so hard. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I mean, I shared a conversation I had with a retired attorney, and the fucking backlash from that, I mean, that was crazy.
You know, so I've been watching a lot about Kanye West.
Yeah.
A lot. I've been watching a lot of his interviews and a lot of other interviews. I've just been watching a lot. And it's kind of the same type of thing in a sense that, you know, they put out that he was crazy. But if you listen to him, like truly listen to him and think about like the powers that be, you can see what he's talking about, especially if you've been through what we've been through with this Katie Nat uni stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've been lied about
Mm-hmm.
since 2019, since December 2019. I've been lied about, and nothing that has been said about me has been true. None of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But looking at somebody, I bring him up because, you know, look at where, I mean, he is rich and powerful and all that, and if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. The sway of the narrative, and you know what I mean, the agenda that people have, like you can see it play out if you open your eyes. If you're not like, I'm not on a side, I'm just wanting to get to the truth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know
So
exactly what you mean. Yeah. You don't have a dog in the fight. You just want to know the fucking facts, the truth. Yeah.
Well, and with the Katie thing, I do have a dog in the fight because I did receive a TRO from her. I'm still baffled that she dropped it. But if you saw the papers, the things she said, and you actually went to look yourself, because everything that I've said on social media was in there, right? You can look for yourself and see that it was presented in a way to make it look a certain way, but that's not the truth. The truth is there if you look at the whole picture.
Yeah, and like I remember that, like looking at it and reading it, like she was using everything Natalie did and trying to put the blame on you because you talked to her online. Like that's what it was all coming down to. And it just seems like this whole Natalie thing was being used is for all of Katie's personal grievances and agendas. I mean,
right. I talked to Nat. The only reason I didn't even know about Nat until, and you know this, but nobody else does. I haven't shared it publicly. I didn't even know about Nat until, or ever talked to her until I think April.
Same here, yeah.
After the Toddy thing. So Unirock kept saying I was the reason, I was the one who brought Nat into all of this. I didn't even know who Nat was until, because I was on my break. So I didn't even know who Nat was until April. And the only reason they got to me and I talked to her was because I was told she was suicidal. Now, if you're told somebody's suicidal, are you going to reach out? If there's a way you can help, you're going to reach out, right? That's what I did.
Yeah, especially like someone's asking for you to reach out. You know what I mean? Like you're being requested, like, hey, I'm in this certain place right now. Can you help me? And because I feel like you can help me. So can you reach out? Yeah, of course you're going to. Yeah.
Well, you know, I can't now.
You have to be a real piece of shit not to.
I can't now. They ruined it. I can't now. If anybody says they're struggling, I will not reach out because I can't trust it. Right? It'll be used against me. That's how I see it. And it's a very paranoid, fucked up way to live. That's why I'm not on as much as I used to be. That's why I'm not streaming with you all the time, because it keeps me out of the sunlight of the spirit, right? I'm in recovery and I strive for peace and serenity and all of that. And this shit like took a toll on me.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you know, I've talked to you about it. It's freaking exhausting, and it's really hard to have people push false narratives about you. And for the longest time, I didn't have a channel, and I just let it go. I made my channel because I was tired of the lies. I was just so tired of it. I needed a voice. I didn't want a YouTube channel. I'm not profiting off a YouTube channel. I just wanted a voice because so many lies were being spread about me.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
just
And just
insane.
yeah. And like you brought up too the whole like the way the shit spread and the damage and everything that these lies can do and the conspiracy or whatever, the theories or whatever. Like I started to stream off talking about that. And like I mentioned Bill Gates there, where he was giving a speech somewhere, I forget where, but it was in 2010. And he's saying like, you know, the world is like 6.8 billion. And what we need to do is we need to offer better healthcare, more vaccines or whatever, better reproductive care or whatever. And we can get that down 10 to 15%. And the rumor, the narrative with that was like, oh my God, Bill Gates is putting money into vaccines so he can kill fucking, you know, 2 billion people in the world. You know, and that's not it though, is by offering these things, then people will have less kids because their kids will be more likely to make it to adulthood. So they're less likely to have more and more kids, which means less population. And that's what he was saying. But I mean, he's the richest man in the fucking world, and he couldn't affect that. It happened. Like people still believe this, and they probably will till they die. You know, it's crazy. Just no one can. No, we're all powerless against it, I think.
We really are. That's why I mean, I'm not. I'll talk about politics every now and then. I'm against the guy. I'm against it. I don't trust it. I don't trust anybody. I just feel, you know,
You keep breaking up. I
whatever
can't really hear
needs
what
to
you're
happen
saying.
is going to happen. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Yeah.
I haven't changed anything. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I have my own conspiracy theories about that, but I just, with social media, see it's just kind of sick how it works. You know, you get somebody like Katie Joy who can make accusations against a police officer and try to destroy his life for what, right? Or to make accusations against another YouTuber and say that he sexually harassed her, even though there's video of you saying that you never said he sexually harassed you, and it can destroy their life. It can make you insane when you're innocent and people are accusing you of crimes like that. It can literally make you insane. It's so frustrating. Which is why I've been, you know, I've spoke out. There's a lot more YouTubers that are just as problematic, which is why I changed the name of the channel. But like, do I want to get involved? Because I mean, I see what happened with Katie, right? I mean, I was doxxed, I was harassed, I was stalked, I was all of these things. It's just, I mean, I don't know.
I keep thinking too, like this whole, like my suspect is that the whole thing with Nat could have been largely orchestrated or just psyop, or I hate to use that word, the term psyop, but I don't know, just a chaos fucking plan, I guess. But like, I think of that, and then like I look at like I mentioned earlier, and again I'm going to say it. This has nothing to do with how you feel about Steve. You can hate him, hell, you can even think that he deserves everything he gets. That's not the point. But just acknowledge that he gets a lot of shit. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's deserved or not, he gets a lot of shit. So like, and I think of that. Like, and I think of like what I learned over the past month and a half or so, month and a half, talking with the person I've been speaking with, Lestat is who I've been speaking with, who's been a part of the whole Cicada 3301 and has seen like the targeting, this online mass targeting of people, and he's aware of like what it did to that one person named Isaac. And I sit there and I think about that, and I think of, and I look at the shit that's thrown and hurled at Steve every fucking day, you know, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like one thread recently, they were calling him a predator. because of this whole Chris Hansen thing, a predator. Okay, mind you, like that just pisses me off. He's never had so much as a fucking like form any kind of complaint like that, other than Katie's bullshit claim there, and that wasn't even predatory. That was just bothersome because she called it like he made me feel uncomfortable or whatever, you know. So to label someone as a predator and to keep pushing that narrative is,
well, people need to go back to
Fucking
when
nuts.
she was when she was on Kay Baxter's stream. People need to go back to it and really listen to what she said in that stream.
Mhm.
She said, I never got him put in jail for it or in trouble. You know,
so what's the
people
big
make it-
deal? Yeah.
Right. Like, listen to her words, and that says everything right
Mhm.
there. It says everything. She's okay. So she's justified because, you know, she didn't get him in any trouble.
And think about that too.
But yet she got this hate mob that won't
Mhm.
shut up about him and go after him every single day, all day. Who has
Yep.
that much time?
Who has that much hate? I mean, I don't care. I don't know. Like between and I think about like that. Okay, just the vengeance she must feel to you know, help perpetuate that. And then, like you said, you brought up the whole claim against the officer there, the whole just fucking vindictiveness of that. And then this shit with Letitia Bass, like we all saw this happen in real time. We saw her change. We saw the consequences of her anger. We saw this. Okay, so we see this, but yet Nat is the one who has this massive fucking criminal hate boner for someone. You know, like why is it that someone we don't know and is a complete stranger to us and is still newly introduced to this community? Why is it that she's this fucked up crazy person, but but Katie is sitting over there just the innocent victim or something? Like it. Just looking at the past and the patterns, it doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't. But if you think about it, okay, who is the one person that benefited from Nat being here?
Yeah.
Okay. And everything calmed down. There hasn't been any talk about Nat for a while until
she caught shit. Yeah.
either Todd Chrisley, something happened with that court case, or something happened with the 7M court case, and all of a sudden Katie's talking about Nat again.
Mm-hmm.
It's always deflection. It's always to deflect from what is really going on with her.
And right
in my
before that,
opinion.
yeah, and right before that, I shared the tweet where she was scolding the community for how they found a new Nat. I'm guessing in that Erica chick or whatever. Like there was that, like, so she's like really pulling and reaching here to pull everything back around to how everyone is responsible for this horrible thing that happened to her, this horrible person Nat, and look at, you're doing it again. You want this to happen because you need content. Like, what the girl? What are you talking about?
Well, it's all a deflection. I mean,
Yeah.
I always, if something's brought up, or if I'm brought up, or Steve's brought up, or Nat's brought up by her, I'm always looking to see what's really going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do that.
You know, you
I do
watch
that now
her
too.
post, depending on what she posts. Okay, so you know, she posts about a few things. If she got backlash from her subscribers or something, she'll post
Mhm.
about a few things to try to garner sympathy from them and distract them from whatever it is she did. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what happened over that Sophie Long thing and shit. You know, like, but yeah. I mean, people even like. I feel like we should start running odds or something. You know, like on bets or shit. Like, okay, what do we think? What's going to be the first thing out of the gate this time? You know, is it going to be the stalker, the trolls, or is it going to be something with a kid, or is it going to be something with their pets, or you know, it just, or her something to do with her with faith or religion or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. So I did come on here because I sent you those screenshots of what she said about Ginger Voulot, right?
Okay.
She posted
Those
twice.
up.
I guess Ginger is coming out with another book. And here's the thing, okay? Katie
She's not coming.
wanted them all these years. She wanted them to get out of the cult. And now Ginger's going to talk about how, you know, how it was harmful to her. The book's not out yet, but you know, there's a description. I got it. But anyway, it's not good enough because Katie's saying that she's getting paid for it, and now, you know, her husband's making her do stuff, whatever. Dude, when is it going to be enough? Why can't you just leave these people alone? Why do you have to try to dictate what and how they do something? If she's out of the cult, why aren't you happy for her? Why do you want to criticize her for how she's going about it, how she's going about telling her story? You got to realize Katie uses these people as content. That's how she makes her money.
Yeah.
But yet she wants to dictate how they make their money. And she says Jeremy needs to get a job. Okay, well, Todd needs to get a job. What are you talking about? Jeremy's a pastor or whatever. They don't get paid much. I'm just, it's infuriating.
Well, some do. Some do.
Well, whatever. I mean,
I know
get
what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Regardless, he's a new pastor, but still, it doesn't matter. It's the fact is she got out, and now she's speaking out against it. It takes whatever it takes, right?
Yeah,
Katie's just not. She wants to be all angry about it, but then tell her subs after she posts what she posts, don't hate me for my opinion. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is. It's. I don't even think that it's that she cares to see people doing better or freed or, you know, out of harm's way or so much. She just wants to punish people, I think. Like, she wants to just point out all the shit everyone else is doing that makes them fucked up and then just make them pay for it. Like, you know what that is. If you spot it, you got it. You spot it, you got it. And here's the thing, she would be singing a different tune if Ginger would give her an interview. Oh yeah. Her tune would change. Oh my. She's fucking platforming. Yeah, she's platforming someone on the fucking registry right now because he gave her access, basically.
Right. Who does that? You're signing the deal with the devil. Who does that? Who would give somebody that harmed children a platform? That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Anything for a dime or a dollar. Are you going to read what she says?
Who? I'm looking. What do you mean? Oh, I'm sorry.
You put the picture up there.
What I put up there? Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong one. All right. So it says the bookliner credits Ben Sewell with opening up her eyes to the wrong beliefs she lived under. Then Jeremy Buolo is credited for continuing to show Ginger how the rules under the IBLP were biblically false. Oh my God, Jeremy and Ginger are about to get cut off for good because she's going to admit to growing up living in fear. The book will be discussing how she maintained her faith in God, and I'm assuming will promote Jeremy's Calvinistic beliefs under John MacArthur. Her book, her book is referenced. She is correcting it.
You didn't read those in order. Like, are you on her thing?
No, I'm on the messages you gave me. Here, let me go on her thing.
Okay. Yeah, go on her thing. She did 2 posts about it. If you read the first one, you know, is kind of unbiased. She's the most biased person I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. No reporter would put their feelings and their thoughts out there as much as Katie does. The way she does this, she's Mrs. Kravitz from Bewitched.
The whole point of reporting is to provide information to the public that will be of service and of interest.
And let them make their own decision.
It's not to influence. Okay. Ginger
Well, I
Duggar
just don't.
Vuolo. Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm not sharing screen. My bad. I'm not sharing the screen. My bad. Okay, there we go. Okay. Ginger Duggar Vuolo has a new book coming out in January 2023, and it's all about dismantling and leaving the oppressive world of the IBLP. The book liner credits Ben C. Will. Okay, I already read that. That would be false. Oh my God, I'm about to get cut off. This book will be discussing how she maintained her faith in God, and I'm assuming will promote you. Okay. So did you? Are there comments too, or?
Oh, I don't
guessing
know.
there
She
are.
assumed a lot, but go to the next one because the next one
Okay,
is
all
really
right.
where she changes her tune.
Wrong way. Okay. And that's good. Okay, we'll do that. Please hear me on this because my heart is pained and shattered for the victims of the IBLP. My heart is shattered for the Duggar daughters. But my mind is furious, angry, maddened, and disenchanted with Ginger's continued monetization of her faith at all costs. I'm tired of this family profiting off harmful beliefs and using trauma that they inflicted on so many people to gain more money. Because of Ginger's book with her sisters, girls were shamed to believe wearing pants and immodest clothes would cause men to stumble. Girls were told romance novels were akin to pornography. They were encouraged to enter courtships and arranged marriages like they all were. They told young girls to submit and obey. They went on TV and said that Josh Duggar wasn't a predator, that it wasn't a big deal. They told everyone their parents were amazing. You know who has made no money on telling her story? Jill Duggar. Jill gave an interview with People magazine denouncing the IBLP and severing ties with fundamentalism. She did that for free. Jill made not a cent. Her husband and her have not done podcasts, grifted by pushing Christian books, or done YouTube video after YouTube video about their faith. No, you did that, Katie. It's Ginger and Jeremy. I also bet not a single cent of this book or any of the profits they make pushing their brand of Christianity does a damn thing to help the victims of the IBLP or the child victims of the SA of the cult. The tone of profiting off this is what bothers me. I don't care if you make money, but tell your damn story without pushing Jeremy's beliefs. This book is set up as Jeremy and Ben, the saviors of the girl that was raised by abusive parents. How about take a note from Jill and actually go to therapy? Jill goes to therapy. Ginger has never gone to therapy ever. It just really bothers me. I know this is all Jeremy behind this because he's a broke pastor exploiting his wife for profit. Wow. How do you read all of that in this?
Dude, well, no,
more.
Okay, go ahead.
Newsflash, Ginger moved from exploitative parents to an exploitative husband. She's not free. Take Growing Up Duggar off the shelves, donate the money, and apologize for the hurt the book caused. End rant. Please don't hate my opinions.
Please don't hate my opinions. Yeah. You know, here's the thing. So she wanted her to get out of the IBLP. Now she's out of the IBLP and she's still going to go after her. She's a victim, dude. She was a victim before. How is she going to go after her and demand how she do whatever she's going to do? The only reason she's speaking nice about Jill is because her husband, Jill's husband, has talked to Katie in DMs. Here's the thing. Katie once said that she hated Jill Duggar. She hated her.
Yep.
Like there's
because
video
she hated
of
her
it.
husband. Yeah. Yep.
But she doesn't hate her anymore because her husband talked to her. So, you know what I mean? It's okay that her husband said homophobic things. It's okay. Katie will justify or whatever if they've done something bad. Like she just went off on Unirock saying transphobic things. Jill's husband said transphobic or homophobic things, and Katie's cool with it. Like it's okay because he gave her the time of day.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's crazy to me. It's crazy town.
I mean, how the fuck do you get all of that from the fact that she released a book, and the book is denouncing a lot of the shit that Katie has been wanting people to denounce? Like, how do you manifest that whole scenario out of what we just read? Like, that's fucking crazy.
I didn't send you
Like,
the picture
there's-
of what it said. The book's not out yet. It's
there's
not
like
even
this
out.
running
She
narrative
just
in her
read.
head. I'm
Well,
sorry,
yeah. You should Google. Google the name of the book, and then you can see the place where it kind of talks about it. Like she got what she got out of like a couple paragraphs. That's it.
What's it called?
Like she
Becoming-
made her own conclusions out of a couple paragraphs. It's insane.
Let's see. Where I'm seeing is like the old book. Wait a minute. New book. Becoming free indeed. That's what it said. All right. So is there anything on this site?
I clicked on the first thing, and it kind of it talked about what the book was going to talk about a little bit. It was only like a page, if that.
I got I'm on In Touch Weekly. I don't they okay.
That's not what
So
I got it. I think I got it from whoever's going to publish the book. I don't know. In Touch Weekly might have the same thing.
Well, what site did you get it from?
I don't know. I can't look. If I click out of here, I think I'll end up being hung up on, and it's on my phone. I can try. If it doesn't work, I'll come back.
Yeah, I have like Amazon. Wait, I can do like more news, maybe something in the news. I don't know. Hollywood Gossip, The Sun, OK Magazine, Showbiz, Distractify, Cafe Mom. And these are all older too. Like, oh no, wait, that one's older.
Read the first one, because I don't know. It wasn't any of those. It was something that was.
Is she there? Did we lose her? No, she's there.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
I have The
Do you
Sun
want me to
and
try to
Amazon.
click and do you want me to try to click out and see if I can send you the picture?
But you can't do so you can see just like the name of the website up top. Like,
No, I'd have to like make you smaller. I'll see if it'll work. If not, I'll come back. Hang on.
yeah. Contacts keep sliding on me. I can tell. Okay. Can everyone hear? Why isn't my fucking camera coming on? Jesus, my internet crapped out. And well, at least I got to put eye drops in my eye, though. My internet crapped out. And then I had to wait for my shit to reconnect. So I'm going to add you back to the stream, Tina. You there?
Hey.
My internet crapped out for a second. It does that, like, I don't know, once a night. Pisses me off. All right, so where was I? I was going to Facebook. Or, yeah, that's where.
Did you get the pictures?
Yes, I did. All right, so. All right, there we go. Let's share screen. All right, so it says, book summary. Jinger Vuolo, I don't know how to pronounce that, whatever, recounts how she began to question the harmful ideology of her youth and learn to embrace true freedom in Christ. About the book. Jinger, the sixth child of the famous Duggar family of TLC's 19 Kids and Counting On, recounts how she began to question the unhealthy ideology of her youth and learn to embrace true freedom in Christ. When Jinger Duggar Vuolo was growing up, she was convinced that obeying the rules was the key to success and God's favor. She zealously promoted the basic life principles of Bill Gothard, fastidiously obeying the modesty guidelines, no shorts or jeans, only dresses, eagerly submitting to the umbrella of authority. Any disobedience of parents would place her outside God's protection, promoting the relationship standard of courtship and avoiding any music with a worldly beat, among others. Jinger, along with three of her sisters, wrote a New York Times bestseller about their religious convictions. She believed this level of commitment would guarantee God's blessing, even though in private she felt constant fear that she wasn't measuring up to the high standards demanded of her. In Becoming Free Indeed, Jinger shares how in her early 20s, a new family member, a brother-in-law, who didn't grow up in the same tight-knit conservative circle as Jinger, caused her to examine her beliefs. He was committed to the Bible, but he didn't believe many of the things Jinger had always assumed were true. His influence, along with the help of a pastor named Jeremy, caused Jinger to see that her life was built on rules, not God's word. Jinger committed to studying the Bible, truly understanding it for the first time. What resulted was an earth-shaking realization. Much of what she'd always believed about God, obedience to his word, and personal holiness wasn't in line with what the Bible teaches. Now, with a renewed faith of personal conviction, Becoming Free Indeed shares. What the hell? There we go. Now, Becoming Free Indeed shares what it was like living under the tenets of Bill Gothard, the biblical truth that changed her perspective, and how she disentangled her faith with her belief in Jesus intact.
Okay, so
Okay.
so she basically did everything that Katie has been saying that Katie has wanted them to do. She got out of the IBLP. She's awake now to what the truth is, right? She's awake that it was a harmful thing. But yet, because she's going to publish a book about it, it's not acceptable to Katie. Katie Joy, who streams for hours slandering people, making claims about them, makes money in any way she can, trying to destroy people, in my opinion. But it's not acceptable to Katie that Jinger does it the way that she's doing it. She needs to provide for herself, right?
Yeah, because it's not passing Katie's purity test there, which ironically, Katie's applying a purity test to how one lives of faith.
Right. It's insane. The hypocrisy is real.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hit something come up in chat. Yeah. I just lost internet, guys. Sorry. I'm back, though. I'm back.
Isn't it baffling to you?
I don't know, wouldn't that possibly cause even more damage, though? I think, here's Jinger. She's out on her own, and it sounds like she's finally starting to figure herself out, to get to know herself and establish herself, her own boundaries, her own allowances, whatever. And here comes Katie, just like, no, you're doing it all wrong. You're still wrong. You're still fucking wrong, like.
Exactly. Who is she? Who is she to Jinger? Why does she think that she can dictate how other people live? Right? Like, my
Mhm.
God.
Yeah.
At least
And
Ginger's not harming other people, right?
Right. Yeah. I laugh though when I see something like I found oh no wait, I didn't find it was a shit on Twitter there. She was talking about Unirock and she was trying to cancel him effectively, like saying like, people shouldn't be following him anymore or whatever, like her followers, and shit. But yeah, she'll say over and over again how we can't, content creators shouldn't be telling, we can't, it's not up to us who you watch. You can watch whoever you want. I would never tell you who to watch, or I would never try to cancel anyone. Come on now. And then like in the next breath, like, oh my God, you're still following him. Ugh. Like what the, and they hear, and it's like Katie knows best.
It's the okay for me, but not for thee
Not for
mentality,
yep.
right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and what does she have against religion? I mean, she's angry that she's pushing her religious beliefs. Well, yeah, she's Christian. Just because she got out of the IBLP doesn't mean that she's going to turn into an atheist, right? Hello?
Right, exactly. Yeah. In fact, she said something about this here in one of the posts I just read. That kind of caught me off guard. Let's see, she did it for free. I don't know. The way it's like she was giving her shit almost for like, yeah, great, okay, so you left the IBLP, but you're still in religion, like that's kind of how it sounded.
Well, and she hates her husband for some reason. Why does she hate men so much? Like, she hates her husband, and her husband was successful. He was a soccer star. We don't know how much money he saved or how much money he has or if he's needing money. Dude, they live in California. They just bought a multi-million-dollar home. Like, yeah. It's not cheap. Mm-hmm. I was looking at their house tour, and I was like, oh my God, like they're living in Southern California. That house has got to be, a few $1 million. Obviously, they're not broke, right?
Right. Yeah. Obviously not. Yeah. What is it? Someone else too. They bought a farm. They called it a farm or something, like a little farm. And Katie was like, it was one of these religious families, and she's like, it's 2.5 acres. That's not a farm. Like this is a yard or garden.
The roll-offs. Why does she feel the need? I think it's jealousy. She's jealous that these people have made it, and she hasn't. I mean, I can't see any other reason for it. She hates men, yeah. Any man. Like, okay, let's talk about Sister Wives for a second. I just want to get this out there. So, Sister Wives is on now. Do you watch it?
No, I don't. I've never seen an episode. I really haven't.
Okay. Well, I have. I've watched it every single season, right? Every season, like all the time. Here's the thing. They're shooting this episode during COVID, right? How was Katie when COVID was going on? How was Katie about people going around other people? What was she preaching on her channel and on Instagram?
To stay home, wear a mask, and
right. So she's against Cody. She hates Cody for some reason. And I agree with Cody's stance. Like, Cody wanted his family to completely, what's it called? What is it called that people had to do? Stay home? What's the right verbiage?
Oh, I don't know, shutdown or whatever. Quarantine.
Quarantine, yes. Quarantine? So he wanted his family to all quarantine so they could all see each other so that it wouldn't impact them in any way. the two wives chose not, and their kids chose not to quarantine. They traveled. They did a whole bunch of shit, right? And Cody's like, you know, in the midst. But Katie, the thing is Katie has taken a stand now that COVID is over. She's taken the complete opposite stand of what she had when COVID was on, because she hates Cody that much. It's insane to me. It's truly, because I when I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, like, if Katie didn't hate this dude so much, she would completely be on his side, because he was doing the things that she was talking about doing, right?
Yeah. It's, I mean, she really, I mean, I'm not sure if it's necessarily a gender thing, but like, I mean, it does seem to be men that she really hates more than anything. But like, I think it's more like the alpha person, like the person who seems to be in charge or in control, whatever, the person, I don't know, in authority, like,
right.
it's usually men. It is, sadly it is. So I think that's why it comes across as men. But like, if there's a situation where the woman is the alpha person and the one in charge, yeah, it's gonna fuck them. I mean,
well, I think she's all inclusive with her hate. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's an all inclusive thing. It doesn't matter. It's just who gets her at that time. I don't know. So
equal opportunity.
Exactly. It's pretty much anybody. And everybody, it would seem. I mean, I don't know. It's baffling to even, I quit trying to figure it out. It's just baffling.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think this was the line here. I also bet not a single cent of this book or any of the profits they make pushing their brand of Christianity does a damn thing to help the victims. Like, what do you mean by their brand of Christianity? If their brand of Christianity is not doing these things that you've been bitching about all this time, or not supporting it, not pushing it, I mean, I don't know if that's the case, but that's how it's trying to be painted as anyways. So why are you bitching about that? Because I mean, doesn't she say all the time, oh no, believe in anything you want, as long as your religion doesn't make you a shitty person or something like that,
Right.
I don't care. So if this religion, this new brand of Christianity is making her less shitty of a person, what's the fucking problem?
Right. She'll never be happy with it. Yeah. But it seems to me lately, just following stuff, it seems to me that, I mean, I talked to you a little bit about Katie's recent post about her grandparents and how abusive they were and how horrible they were and all that. But yet, November of last year, she posted about how wonderful they were. She's trying so hard to be who she reports on, I guess.
She's like, oh my God, there's a medical term for it. Where people mirror the person in front of them. There's a oops, sorry, I just hit my microphone. Shit, fuck, what was it? I can't remember the name of it. The mirroring disease or some shit like that.
I know the animal thing would be a chameleon. She is a chameleon. Yeah. Or it's not an animal, they're what? I can't think of what they are. Anyway,
syndrome is known as Valentine's syndrome. Maternal disease can be difficult to diagnose. Oh no, wait, maybe that's not it. Okay, nope, that's not it. Sorry, my bad.
Anyway, she just needs to fit the story so much. I don't know. Her desperation is showing, in my opinion. I mean, she'll get a run on the Duggar books. She should be grateful. Why be griping? It gives her something to talk about. She's gonna make some money off of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She wanted them canceled. She canceled her source of income. So I wouldn't call out for canceling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, which one of the Duggars was it? What was the name of that company? That she basically had the contract taken away. I want to say it was like a natural skincare product line or something. Oh, it was over like non-inclusive beliefs or something, because the girl's husband had made some homophobic statements.
Right.
It was one of the Duggars.
Right.
I can't remember which one. Was it? Jill,
I think it might have been Jill, because Derek is the one who. Then I don't know.
No,
but anyway,
it wasn't
she
Jill.
did
It was
it.
Jessa.
We've seen her.
Maybe?
We've seen her do that to Micah Stauffer as well. Oh yes, it was Jessa. You're right. I remember Ben did it. But we've seen her do that. If it was done to her, what the world would end. Oh my God! Call 911. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, another case of it's okay for her, but not for anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mirror dysmorphia? Is that it? No, what is that? I don't know. It's gonna drive me nuts. I know that there's a term for it. Mirrors. Okay. All right. Fuck it. I'm moving on. Otherwise, I'm gonna get obsessed with it, because I'll look it up later. I'll feed my obsession after the stream, which I probably should be wrapping up here soon, because it's almost 11. I'm in 7, 8, 9, almost 4 hours of streaming. I don't think I've ever streamed for that long. I knew it was going to be a long stream tonight, but.
Well, I wish you would have messaged me before you went live, so I could have started listening from the beginning. I'll have to listen to it tomorrow or later tonight.
I think you'll like it. And all the links, I updated all the links too, by the way. So the correct links are in the description, and they are in order along with the stream. So like the first link is for the first thing I pull up, the second link second, etc. So it's real easy to follow there.
Right on.
And I want to highly recommend anyone who has any kind of interest whatsoever in the whole QAnon phenomenon and any at all, the whole disinformation campaign possibilities and history. I mean, long history too, even. I highly recommend that you check out the first link in the description, and that's to the Medium profile of Hamilton Hume. It's right to the article called the Disinformation something, I forget what now, but it's the full article, because if you look at his profile page, you'll see like the one, and then you'll see part 1 and part 2 under the same name. The one that has no number or no part after it, that's the full, that's all of it together. It's like a 90-minute read. But one thing I love about Medium is that you can hit the play button and a voice will read the article to you as you do whatever it is you need to do. I fucking love that about Medium. So it's a 90-minute read, but it's so good.
I'll check it out.
To everyone listening, I highly recommend it. So
we need to.
Oh my God! I never added you to the
stream.
What'd I do? Oh shit!
Really?
I went on one person solo instead of 2. I'm sorry, my bad.
No, that's okay.
It's
I'm
just
out.
It's your avatar. Okay, all right.
We'll get together. We'll get together soon.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Thanks for coming. Bye. All right, y'all. On that note, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thank my mods so very, very much for sticking this out here for 4 hours almost. I'm sorry, but thank you. Thank you. And I know I'm going to get some backlash and some shit for this, whatever. I don't care. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's quite possible I could be wrong about things, but I don't know. It is what it is. So, I'm going to continue looking into the whole QAnon connection and everything, because I want to just know more and understand more. And mostly because I think it's important to know when what you're being fed might be a load of bullshit or propaganda, because it's pretty convincing, a lot of it. It is. And it's not very hard to really write narrative or propaganda if you wanted to. I mean, I've done it jokingly, and I've surprised myself with how fucking easy it is. So I think I don't know. For myself, I want to learn. And I'm going to do also what I said. I'm going to revisit a few of these videos or streams from throughout this ordeal, because the more I think about it, like the whole hindsight 2020 thing, you know, but so I want to just have a chance to see what's there and see if my site is hined. I don't know. So, but thanks for being here, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the stream. So, all right. Bye. See you next time.